The views expressed.
Coming to you live from Seward, Florida, the greatest little town in the world, it's the Get Up and Go Show on AM 1450 WSTU. You're invited to call the show anytime at 772-220-9788. And now, broadcasting live from their palatial studios, here are your hosts, Evan and Bonnie. You guys are living the good life.
That's right. We are living the good life, as they say.
I know that's right.
That's right. We're always living the good life.
I heard that.
That's because we live the good life, and it's the only life that we know how to live for a Tuesday. Good morning, Bonnie.
Good morning to you, Evan. You know, I would be living that good life a little better, I think, if I made it out to the beach more. And clearly, I haven't been doing that upon getting out of here lately.
Well, I got a beach you can go to. You know what beach I would tell you to go to, but I know you won't go there.
I like to go to the Stewart Beach still, that nice, beautiful beach right across the causeway from Jensen.
That's fine. Stewart's a gorgeous beach.
Stewart is. And then,
beautiful, nice and clean and green.
And sometimes, you know, it's fun like to stop like maybe at Conky Joe's or Mulligan's on the way home from the beach too.
Yeah, have an adult beverage.
Stop in for a little beverage, maybe a little appetizer or bite to eat.
There you go.
That's why we just love living here. It's gorgeous.
Little shrimp cocktail.
Yes.
Do you like shrimp cocktail?
I like the shrimp cocktail.
What about crab cakes?
I think I have crab cakes, and I might have had like alligator bites last time at Conky Joe's.
How about
when
lobster
we went.
bisque?
Oh, it's been such a long while since I had some really good lobster bisque.
I know where they have some killer lobster bisque at.
Can you tell me? Can you say where?
It's called Texas de Brazil, where I went to dinner last week.
Oh, was it that good?
It was so good. My mouth watered. I had to have 7 cups.
Wow.
It was that good.
You know, I like a good, lobster roll too once in a while.
Okay, I like egg rolls. I don't like lobster rolls.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I have too many rolls here.
Oh,
yeah.
I know. The more you eat, that's why I don't like noodles because, I love noodles, but they give me the rolls too.
Yeah, but if you eat too many noodles, you'll look like a wet noodle. Oh! Yeah.
And I need an iron to kind of like flatten out my stomach. No, what I really need to do is run and do more sit-ups than I normally do.
All right. Well, maybe in between segments, we'll go out and run around the the building or something.
Yeah, maybe we could start
we
like
could
a
jog around the building.
joggers club, or maybe some kind of jazzercise.
I'll jog around the building once with you. I got, if it's like a 3-minute commercial break, I'll go
Right.
jog around with you.
Okay,
Yeah, we can do it.
I
I
think-
dare you.
I think we should start doing that.
I dare you.
I want to.
Coming all huffing and puffing.
It's been really a long time, since I've gone to a jazzercise class.
Mhm.
There was a time when I was working at the musical radio station when it was like getting really, really popular around here.
When it was getting popular, I thought it was always popular.
I don't know. Maybe it was, to me, it just seemed more popular at the time. I
Okay.
don't know. Maybe it's just because I was getting into it more. I
Okay.
think there might be a class somewhere right across. I want to say maybe the old bridge. If you go over the old Roosevelt Bridge.
A friend of mine used to run a jazzercise place at the bottom of the bridge. If you're going north, as soon as you get to the bottom of the bridge, you take a hard right, and in that shopping plaza right there is a jazzercise.
Oh, that's your friend?
place.
I
A friend
think.
of mine used to run it, named Lisa Collins.
I
I went to
think-
high school with her.
Oh, did you really?
Yes.
I think that's the one I saw. I think
Yeah.
that's the one I always see. I'm
Mhm.
always seeing
Okay.
because I could have sworn I've seen jazzercise even on the building.
There
or
you
something.
go. She doesn't live here anymore, though.
Yeah,
She moved away.
I know. There's always kind of like ladies taking over that sort of thing, and
Maybe I should go open up a jazzercise place and throw a pair of tights on and stand up front and do my thing and let people follow.
yeah, get your music going, and you
I
could
didn't think
be
I'd look in a set of tights.
you could be the head of the class. Evan in tights.
Yeah. Could you
That's-
imagine that? That's a visual right there.
That would be.
That'd be a very that would be a one heck of a visual. Wow, me in tights?
Do you think? Your,
What color do you think I should
do
wear?
you think your class would have to keep from laughing?
How about
No, I'm
pink?
kidding.
How about pink tights?
You would look like a huge Pink Panther or
Oh,
something.
I'll wear a set of pink tights. I have no problem with that.
How about
You never
yellow?
know. I might just come in here with a pair of pink spandex on one morning.
Oh,
That would throw you for a loop, wouldn't it?
now that would be a sight. You should do that for Halloween.
Right?
Just say for Halloween you're like a jazzercise instructor.
Okay. You never know. I might just pop in here with a set of pink tights one morning.
Yeah.
I'll go to Walmart and go to the women's section and ask the lady, I need a set of pink tights. And they'll say, what size? And I'm like, well, look at me. Tell me what you got that'll fit me. And she'll look at me really super strange. But see, that's just my personality. I
Mhm.
would do that. I would walk right into the women's section for a set of pink tights for myself.
You do get a little bit zany, don't you?
Well, that's just me. That's my personality. I'm out there, but it's good to be out there because I'm not an introvert. I'm an extrovert. My wife will tell you that. I'm a big extrovert.
Were you always an extrovert?
No,
One time you were an
no,
introvert.
I was an introvert all through high school.
Yeah.
I was a nerd in high school. I had
Oh.
no girlfriend, no friends, no nothing. I was a complete nerd in high school. And then all of a sudden, it's like somebody cracked my shell and out came this boisterous person right out of high school when I went to college for my degree in radio and television. And then, the mold was broken and then I was reincarnated and now here I am.
Well, that's a very good thing because
Yeah.
if the mold had not been broken,
Yeah.
we would not be discussing
Ah,
this.
good morning, Mike McCoy. Mike McCoy is watching on Instagram Live. I got to say good morning to my good friend, Mike McCoy.
Is he related to Julie McCoy,
No.
like from the Love Boat?
No, Mike McCoy is from my church. I love this guy. Like, you have no idea. When I see
Yeah.
him, it's comforting to see him in church. It
That's-
really is.
It's
It's
just
like you have your coffee.
Uh-huh.
Well, I have my mic. And I'm not talking about the mic I'm talking in.
Why do some people make you feel comfortable that way?
I don't know.
I like to be around people that do. Of course,
I don't know.
I don't like to be around.
Mike, if you're listening, you can call into the show right now. I would love to have a conversation with you about, just in general. 772-220-9788. I don't know if he wants to call and on his morning voice. Then again, he could have been up since 5 a.m. also.
He can call us with his morning voice, with his bedhead, with his
Oh, don't say that.
with his stinky breath if he
No, don't
hasn't
say
brushed his
no,
teeth
no,
yet.
no. Don't say that. Don't say that. Mike's from my church. You can't say things.
Okay.
You can't talk like that about Mike.
Well,
Mike and I we have a very special friendship.
you have
we really
like
do.
a little bit of a bond, a
Yeah,
friendship
I
going.
can confide in him when I need to talk to somebody. He's always one of my go-to people, and I had that moment a couple of weeks ago at church,
Yeah.
and I needed to confide in him in something, and I talked with him. I felt better, and things have just been way better since then.
That's excellent. Hey, Evan,
Yeah.
really quickly, I just want to mention a few of the winners from Lenny's Pick'em League this week, and some friends of ours who are in the league. We had Chief Pick'em Good.
Hmm.
He picked 'em good last year. I think he won this league last year.
Okay.
But he kicked off the first week of NFL just plain and outright shameless because he was good. He picked 13 right.
Okay.
And in second place, we have Florida Bears and Bounty Gate Saint, third place.
Okay.
During
I have
this
no idea
week.
who those people are.
They are part
Sound
of.
like some people that came into the country
Part of
from
the.
somewhere else.
Well, people always go by like a handle in the Pick'em League, and
Oh.
like I'm the Packer backer.
You're the Packer backer. That's because you're a fan of the Green Bay Packers.
Yes, so that's my
Okay.
handle, and
Okay.
then people can
I feel
see.
like you're talking on a CB radio. That's your handle.
It is. It's like
Breaker 19. It's the Packer backer. Is there a Smokey Bear out there
Yeah.
somewhere? Breaker 19.
breaker, Packer backer looking for Florida Bears. Signal in if you did
All
pick the Bears to win.
All
But,
right.
but yeah, just congratulations.
How many people are in the Pick'em League?
It looks like there's at least 50 some, and
What?
with more, like 50 some
Really?
people. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And I just got a gentleman to sign up yesterday. I
Okay.
know G did
There's
send
this
him
net. There's this net flying around the studio. It's like bugging the heck out of me.
Is it stinging you or
No,
biting
it's
you
just
or
it's like
anything?
flying around here.
It's just like bothering you,
It's like,
right?
yeah, somebody left the door open or something.
Yeah.
Somebody was here yesterday because I can tell
Yeah.
when I leave the door a certain way. So like when I put my key in it, all I got to do is turn it a half a turn and it opens the door. Well, when I put my key in and I have to turn it, rotate it like 160 degrees,
Uh-huh.
I'm like, okay, somebody's been here
Huh.
because the light was on in the other room and this darn sure is not Motel 6.
Yeah.
Okay, so somebody left the light on here last night
Hmm.
and I got to get down to the bottom of it. I have to investigate who was here.
It could have been, it could have been Anne. It could have been Carol and Greg. And, they, might have just wanted to leave the light on for security or something.
I have no idea.
Yeah. It could have been like even one of them having to make a pop in.
I have no idea.
Oh, by the way, if you want
Yeah.
if you do want to get in the Pick'em League, just want to tell the listeners how
Okay.
they can do so.
Please do.
Contact the musical G at yahoo.com.
Why does he have a Yahoo email? Yahoo is that's like having an AOL email.
Yeah, well, Yahoo is what we're using for this fantasy football.
Yahoo. Okay.
Yahoo, yep.
All right.
The musical G at yahoo.com, and
Okay.
he would be glad to send you a friendly link to get on in.
Okay.
Get on
And all
in
you got
there.
to do is pick a team that you think
Yeah.
is winning.
Yeah, you
And
just
that's it. What happens at the end when it's all over?
when it's all said and done,
Yeah.
usually we do give away a beautiful NFL jersey.
Really?
So I got to get with G and make sure that's happening
Who picks a team?
before I officially announce it.
Well, who picks the team of the jersey?
Usually,
I mean, what happens if you give a jersey away
Uh,
to somebody that won and they don't like the team?
I don't know.
It's going to offend them.
Usually our commissioner has done that in the past. So
Okay.
I got to see if G is picking the jersey or just what we have
Who's the
and
commissioner?
what we're giving every week. G's our commissioner
Is
this year.
Okay, so if I have a gripe about the rules in the league, I have
Mhm.
to gripe to G.
Yeah.
Okay.
you can send that email and
Okay.
if
Maybe
you
I'll just call him
did have a gripe.
and say, heard you're the big kahuna. You're the commissioner.
He is, and he is this year. We had Bulldog's been our commissioner in the past. Yeah.
Here's an idea for the Pick'em League. At the end, when it's all said and done, maybe you guys could get together and go play a game of flag football.
Oh, that would be fun.
Split the sides into two.
Now, wouldn't that?
Yeah.
We did have something to do with football. Well, we always go to the St. Lucie Draft House
Okay, well,
and
that
have
just-
our parties there,
Okay, that's drinking. I'm talking playing football.
playing the actual game. But we,
Like play a game and then go to the draft house
Yeah,
afterwards.
when we did work for the music station, I know
Mhm.
we had something to do with Super Bowl where we had all kinds of little games outside.
Oh,
Like throw the football through the tire and and putt the putter like Bob Barker and all.
putt the putter
putt
like
the-
Bob Barker.
Like that little golfing game we had out there.
Oh, you got to get the ball in the hole.
Yeah,
Okay. And you
We-
have certain markers you put it behind.
yeah.
Okay. I mean, y'all may as well just have Plinko out there,
Plinko, yeah.
right?
I love
Did you have
that.
Barker's Beauties out there also?
Oh yeah, there were a couple of beauties like in their football jerseys. Some
Okay.
of the girls are
That
so
would include you,
beautiful.
of course.
I'm okay.
You're a
But
beauty. You're a
thanks.
beauty. Come on. Don't knock yourself,
I'm the
Bonnie.
girl
You're
next
a beauty.
door.
Come on.
But
The girl next door.
yeah, just like
That don't say that because people
no?
take that the wrong way.
do they?
Oh yeah, if you say you're the girl next door, you have no idea what people will think.
Oh yeah, just
Look that up on Google.
just that girl next door with glasses. You know?
Don't even go there. Look that up on the internet. The girl
Okay.
next door, and boy, you'll see some stuff pop up that you'll be like, oh my, I shouldn't have said that.
Oh, is that so?
Yeah.
See, I didn't know.
We're talking adult orientated.
I don't search that kind of stuff, so I
Well,
don't
it's
know.
not a matter of searching it. If you search the girl next door, what you said you are, then you're going to put yourself in a category with the girl next door, and you don't want to be that girl next door.
Maybe I'll go search that.
Because then people are going to start knocking, and Gary's going to be like, oh boy, no girl next door here. Sorry.
He's going to be like, you can keep on knocking,
Yeah.
but you can't come in.
Thank you very much. Definitely. Bonnie is not the girl next door, folks. All right. Please do not confuse her with the girls next door. I will stick up for her on that one.
Oh, I
We don't want
remember they had-
strangers
they
knocking
had-
on your door.
They did have a show like with the girls next door. I remember
Mhm.
that show with Holly Madison was on it.
Right.
And I'm trying to remember the name of the girl that was my favorite. She
Yeah.
was kind of like a tomboy type girl
Right.
with long blonde hair, but she was more of a tomboy kind of figure.
Yeah. You get that rumor start. You're the girl next door. This might happen.
Ba 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 boom.
That's right.
yeah.
That'll start happening. You don't want that. You don't want no ba 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 boom happening at the Bonnie Ashley compound.
No.
6:20 on a Tuesday. Hope everybody's doing well this morning. Let's go to the news desk where Bonnie is standing by. Good morning, Bonnie.
Thank you, Evan. Good morning. Governor Ron DeSantis has announced a replacement pick to the Florida Supreme Court. DeSantis said Monday he has appointed appellate Judge Jamie Groshans to fill the spot that would have been held by his original appointment, Palm Beach County Judge Renatha Francis. The Republican governor was ordered to appoint another judge Friday after the court ruled that Francis was constitutionally ineligible to serve. Francis, who would have been the Caribbean American justice to serve on the court, was expected to be sworn in later this month, but her appointment was nullified after State Representative Geraldine Thompson Windermere filed a lawsuit seeking to invalidate Francis's appointment because she had not been a member of the Florida bar for 10 years, as required by the state constitution. Francis was admitted to the Florida bar September 24, 2010. DeSantis appointed the Palm Beach County judge to the role in May. DeSantis, along with several Florida black politicians, defended his decision to appoint Francis during a news conference last week in Miramar. However, this may not be the end of the road for Francis. DeSantis said he called President Donald Trump and asked him to consider Francis for a spot on the federal bench. A Miami man was shot in the face Sunday afternoon after complaining about slow service at a smoothie shop in Fort Pierce. WPTV's Helani Davis has more on the story.
Police in Fort Pierce are searching for a man who they say shot another man in the face over slow service. This happened yesterday afternoon at the Tropical Smoothie on Okeechobee Road. Police say a 39-year-old man from Miami was upset his order was taking so long. That's when authorities say another guy walked in, confronted the man, and shot him in the face. The suspect took off, they say, in a black hoodie, black shorts, and a black face. The victim is in serious condition at the hospital, but is expected to recover. Anyone with information is asked to call Treasure Coast Crime Stoppers.
And Treasure Coast Crime Stoppers number is 1-800-273-TIPS. A water advisory has been issued for Layton Park on the South Fork of the St. Lucie River in Palm City because of an unacceptably high bacteria count. People should avoid contact with the water, which can cause an upset stomach, diarrhea, eye irritation, and skin rashes if touched or ingested, according to the Florida Department of Health office in Martin County. A poor bacteria level ranking is 71. The river at Layton Park had 75 in a water sample taken September 8th. The warning will remain in effect until a series of results are consistently satisfactory. A follow-up water sample was taken Monday, and results should be available by Thursday. Enteric bacteria, a sign of fecal pollution, inhabit the intestinal tract of people and animals. The bacteria's presence in the water typically comes from pets, wildlife, livestock, human sewage, and stormwater runoff, especially after heavy rains. And the National Hurricane Center is tracking a total of 7 systems over the Atlantic and Gulf of Mexico Monday, including 2 hurricanes, 2 tropical storms, 1 tropical depression, 2 other disturbances. And here's the latest update from the NHC as of September 14. Hurricane Sally is 100 miles east of the mouth of the Mississippi River. Hurricane Paulette is 160 miles northeast of Bermuda. Tropical Storm Teddy is 1,170 miles east of the Lesser Antilles. Tropical Storm Vicky is about 430 miles west-northwest of the Cabo Verde Islands. And lastly, city officials hope the Humane Society of the Treasure Coast in Martin County and the Humane Society of Vero Beach in Indian River County can step in to provide at least short-term relief to its animal shelter operation. The cautious optimism comes despite no organization responding to the city's request this summer for a group to run the animal shelter. In Major League Baseball from last night, the Cincinnati Reds beat the Pittsburgh Pirates 3-1. The Phillies get beat by the Marlins 6-2, and it was a doubleheader with the Brewers first winning over St. Louis, and then the Brewers go on to lose 3-2 to St. Louis. Seattle Mariners over Oakland Athletics 6-5 yesterday. It was Baltimore Orioles beating Atlanta Braves 14-1. The Chicago White Sox over the Twins 3-1. The Padres beat the LA Dodgers 7-2. And in another doubleheader, the Cincinnati Reds beating up on the Pirates 3-1. And again, Cincinnati over the Pirates 9-4 yesterday. News time at 6:25. Weather and traffic together are next.
Six on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for traffic and weather together. All brought to you by Code Red Roofers. Bonnie?
Well, there's some construction on the turnpike at Becker Road this morning, and north and southbound, one lane is blocked, so you might find a small slowdown in that area. Expect a good ride, though. We don't find any accidents throughout the Treasure Coast. There's your latest look at traffic. It's 77 in Stewart, and in Hot Springs, Arkansas right now it's 70. Here's our forecast at WPTV.
This morning along the Treasure Coast, temperatures starting off in the mid-70s, partly cloudy skies and some isolated showers for that morning commute. This afternoon, highs in the upper 80s to low 90s, a mix of sun and clouds, and a 40% chance for showers and storms mainly inland, more sunshine towards the coast. For tomorrow, highs in the low 90s, a 30% chance for isolated showers and storms. We'll see drier air through the end of the work week with highs in the low 90s. Rain chances on the increase by the weekend. For the weekend, rain chances around 40%, highs in the low 90s, morning lows in the mid to upper 70s. I'm WPTV First Alert Meteorologist Katya Hall on WSTU AM 1450, Martin County's Heritage Station.
Do you have a suggestion for the show? Send us an email, WSTUmorningshow@gmail.com. And now let's get back to the Get Up and Go show. Here's Evan and Bonnie.
Stream, 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 stream. Stream, stream, stream. Schools are closing. Not much good news, but I've got Wi-Fi and lots of booze whenever I'm not Zooming. All I have to do is stream. Stream, stream, stream. Netflix and chill. Hulu, if you will. Hulu. Peacock and Disney Plus too.
Wait, there's more.
More?
Yes, more.
Amazon Prime, HBO Max, and throw in a little YouTube.
What's Peacock?
Stream, 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 stream.
What's on television tonight on the other channel?
You can't not watch.
Yeah, I'm sure the parents are pretty happy that the kids are back in school and they're not home no more. They're probably singing the praises like this. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Yeah, they're all singing hallelujah, Bonnie.
Oh, that's right. Because, the parents, they've been quarantined
Yeah.
like a very long time with the kids. Can you imagine, when you were a kid, if you would have had 4 or 5 months to be spending out of school during the summertime, that long of a break before getting back? And
I don't know what I would have done. My parents probably would have jumped off the fire escape in New York if that would have happened.
Mine wouldn't have minded because I was kind of like the type of girl who would be playing outside all the time anyway. I wasn't like one of those kids to be constantly in my parents' hair saying, what are we going to do? Everything's boring.
I don't even know when Gavin's home, to be honest with you, because he's pretty much self-maintenance on his own. So he takes care of himself and he does his own thing. And my other kids were like that too as well. Like when the storms came and we had to all get stuck in the house.
Oh, yeah.
They pretty much did their own thing. So it was really just Rachel and I. We just kind of hung out and the neighbors came over and they stayed with us. What's up, J Labby 17? Thanks so much for joining the broadcast. Good morning. Another person on our Instagram Live. And see, we're all over now. We're on Instagram Live. We're on Facebook Live. We're on Periscope.
We're worldly. We're
on YouTube Live. We got people in England.
Worldly action going on right here.
Jay Labby used to have a pizza place.
Where is it? Where at?
I said used to.
Used to?
Used to, yeah. And it was really, really good. I'm talking really good.
Was it right around here?
It was right down the street from where I used to live.
Yeah.
Right off of Port St. Lucie Boulevard in Parr, I think it was.
There's a place I like to go to in DeLand when I visit that area. It's called Dobros. I think Dobros.
Dobros. That's a great name for a pizza place. Come to Dobros.
And they make that like Chicago style pizza, and
come to Dobros where you will never get the hose. Get it? Dobros and no hose.
No hose.
And I'm not talking about HOES. I'm talking about HOSE because you won't get hosed.
Oh,
you'll always get good pizza.
Is that like pantyhose?
No.
Oh.
No.
Okay.
No.
But yeah. I like a good Chicago style deep dish once in a while.
Rachel bought a frozen pizza the other day at the store and we cooked it up. And I have to say, this is probably one of the best frozen pizzas I've ever eaten. It had stuffed crust, and man, that thing was good.
Sometimes those frozen pizzas are, sometimes they're better than going out to eat.
Yeah, we have this pizza maker that it's round, and you put the pizza on it, and then it goes on this little device, and it goes around, and it heats from the top and the bottom. And it's really amazing. I bought this thing years ago, and I just love it.
And it just makes the pizza perfectly for you.
Perfect. You can make pizza from scratch.
Yeah.
With the dough, the sauce, the cheese, everything.
Do you like your pizza kind of doughy, or do you like it when it's a little bit crispy? And
depends on the mood. If I'm in the mood to chew a lot, then I like it doughy. If I just want to get right to the core, and I'm just like craving pizza, then you know what? I'm good to go.
Oh yeah, just give me any old pizza will do, right?
Right.
And yeah, I like a Sicilian action once in a while with a little bit on the doughy side, and then
Okay.
I like it even a little burnt and crispy sometime.
Burnt. You like
Yeah.
burnt pizza?
I like that little bit of burnt flavor, like maybe with the cheese. I don't mind seeing a little brown up on the cheese, because then I know it's going to be crispy, and just a little hint of that burnt taste on a pizza too.
Oh,
always
okay.
tastes good to me.
All right, let's do some viral videos. Bonnie, here's a good example of why you should mind your own business. Now, I'm not talking about you. I'm just talking about people in general. Even if you're Frederick Heidman, the mayor of Nisswa, Minnesota, he was arrested last month for disorderly conduct, and the video is absolutely going viral. He was filming somebody else's traffic stop. It's not clear why, and eventually starting to argue with the police on site. The video is shot from inside the car that was pulled over, and it starts in the middle of the mayor being belligerent with the officer. When he tells the officer that he's not qualified for the job, he gets himself arrested. The person in the car who posted the clip wrote that the mayor seemed completely inebriated. Let's listen to the audio.
You know what? And you know what? So are you, because you're not qualified to do this kind of work. You should be patrolling the streets. Hey,
don't get out of the car, Zach.
Don't get out of the car, Zach. Don't get out of the car, Zach. Seriously, don't get out of the car.
just because you're the mayor, you doesn't give you the right.
Zach,
He's had about 5 warnings. I've had no warning. Hold on.
So you have to watch the whole video.
Yeah.
I can't play the whole video because there is swearing in it, but that was just some bits. But if you watch the whole video, this guy, the mayor, just is completely wrong. He gets in somebody else's business, and he thinks because he's the mayor and an elected official that he gets a free pass to do whatever the heck he wants.
Yeah. Did they mention in there that he seemed a little bit inebriated?
Yeah, I just said that.
But to me, he's the one saying, he's telling the patrol officer like what to do, and when he was saying it, I didn't hear it in his words.
Did you watch the entire video?
He didn't sound inebriated.
Did you watch the entire video?
I just watched a little
yeah, you have to
snippet
watch.
of it.
You have to watch the entire video, and he's definitely sloshed.
Okay.
Yeah, he's had one too many happy drinks.
Yeah.
Let's just say.
And was he driving? Was it?
Yeah, he was also driving as well. He was driving, and he pulled over, and he put his nose in somebody else's business.
That's very.
what he did.
That's very bold of him to do. I mean, that's a little bit, might I say, ballsy. Too
ballsy is that's an understatement.
Yeah, I mean, and the mayor, for goodness sakes, and it looks like the deputies, did say that they just kind of like told him to settle down a couple of times, and it looks like they were strong arming him a little bit, but really being fair, because that was just a little bit bold for him to do. Like because he's mayor, he can go and
he thinks
and be the boss of every certain situation and kind of like try to strong arm people himself.
Yeah, he thinks he can do whatever the heck he wants just because he's the flippin' mayor. But that's just not how things work.
Yeah, that would be like an embarrassing video to have out there of yourself.
That's just not how things work.
If you're the mayor, or if you tend to be the mayor, or if you tend to be anyone, you don't even have to be the mayor. It would just kind of be just an embarrassing thing.
Yeah, we're having internet problems this morning. We lost our live feed for some reason, so I'm trying to get it back up here for us, and hopefully we'll get that back on for our listeners. There it is. Okay, so it's back up, and see, it says pause due to poor connection. So yeah, we're having some internet issues this morning.
So
folks.
it looks, and there was there's some video footage I saw. There was a commercial on TV last night, Evan. That lady with Dancing with the Stars on Dancing with the Stars.
I watched the first couple that dance, and that was that lady I think you're going to be talking about. They got a really crappy score.
Did she?
Yeah.
Well, they didn't really predict her to do so well. That lady from Tiger King, right?
Yeah.
But it looks like during the segment, the daughters of Don Lewis that went missing some years ago.
Yeah.
Those daughters got on there on a commercial with a lawyer during Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah, there was a commercial that played.
And saying, remembering Don Lewis.
Yeah, they paid for the time.
And saying, did this lady have anything to do with it? The lady that was on Dancing with the Stars.
Absolutely crazy.
It is.
Absolutely crazy. There's another viral video that's out there. I'll read it verbatim. You can add chicken walking to the list of lame excuses students have used for being late to an online class. Somebody shot video of their computer screen showing the class, and they zero in on one of the students' written excuses. It says, quote, "Sorry I'm late. I was walking my chicken."
Walking a chicken?
Walking my
How
chicken.
in the world do you walk a chicken now?
Then you hear the teacher ask if that's accurate, and then you see the student show the live chicken as proof on camera.
Oh, that's just silly.
Let's listen to the audio.
Make sure your video's on.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, so you said you were walking your chicken?
Yes, ma'am.
There you go.
And then she shows her the
And
chicken.
she shows the chicken on the video.
That looks like an all-white chicken, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
it's an albino chicken.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah, it's an albino chicken.
I don't think I've ever seen one of those.
Yep, that's an all-white chicken.
But what? I mean, seriously, I've heard of people walking like even their pig.
Yep.
But never walking a chicken.
Yeah, I've seen people walk a chicken. I've seen people walk a donkey.
Yeah.
Walk a horse. I've actually seen somebody walk a cockroach before.
Walk the dinosaur?
Yeah.
Walking a dinosaur?
That's a song.
Yeah.
Everybody walk the dinosaur.
I love it.
Lastly, a flexibility coach was helping a woman at the gym do a stretch. And as he's helping the woman do the stretch, she's up on her knees with her buttocks high in the air, and she's down on her elbows and her head is down, and he is pushing on her, and all of a sudden you hear the sound of flatulence.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Little bit of an embarrassing moment.
Two of her friends are sitting nearby, and everybody busts out laughing. The reaction seemed rehearsed a little bit though, but it I don't know if it was staged or not, but let's listen. There you go.
Oh.
That was hilarious.
And I saw the video.
I gotta play it
Evan.
again. I have to play it again. Oh my God, that's hilarious.
They questioned if that one was staged. You know what?
Yeah.
It didn't look staged to me.
No.
It just looked like it.
How do you stage flatulence?
Yeah. I
mean, think about that. How can you stage something like that?
How do you work something up like that?
Just think you're on your knees and you're on your elbows, your butt's up in the air, and your personal trainer is pushing on your back, stretching you, and all as you're rocking, you just let it go, just like that.
That's just a moment that how you're right. How can it be staged? And the laughs from her friends came right at the right time.
Yeah,
It
you
didn't
can't stage that crap.
look like they were acting.
No, you can't stage that stuff. Bonnie, did you know there's a good chance that you have close to 6 pounds of pennies at your house?
6 pounds.
6
of them.
pounds of pennies. Do you have a jar with a lot of pennies?
A lot of quarters and a lot of dimes.
Okay.
I say.
I bet it probably weighs at least 6 pounds.
I don't have a penny jar. You know what? I think my quarter one does weigh at least 6. That could be true.
Did you know that 70% of women in a recent survey said that when they see a guy driving a sports car, it's a sure sign of insecurity.
Oh.
Insecurity.
Yeah. Sometimes I will look at that, like if it's like a really fancy sports car and I'm driving by or I see them at the intersection.
Right.
I do look to see, admittedly, I look to see how old they are and wonder if they're going through a midlife crisis.
At the age of 50, I went through my midlife crisis and I bought a Mustang GT. I think I've showed you pictures of it.
You
the
did.
fire engine red.
It's beautiful.
It was all tricked out, and I
Yeah.
kept it about a year, and then I got rid of it.
Uh-huh.
It was kind of like a midlife crisis car.
Yeah.
And everybody had bets on me. The bets were he's going to get a ticket within the first month.
Did you?
I did.
Were you speeding? Now
No,
you
I got
see?
a ticket for my window tint.
Oh, you know what?
I was going down the turnpike.
Yeah.
I was going north on the turnpike, and I went past the Stewart exit, and right after I got past the Stewart exit, there was a Florida Highway Patrol officer right underneath the overpass. And as soon as I went through, he pulls me over. And I pull over, and I have my hands on the steering wheel at 10 and 2, where you're supposed to whenever you get pulled over. I roll both my windows down, hands on the steering wheel at 10 and 2, comes over, he says, driver's license and insurance, please. I'm like, okay, no problem. I reach in my glove box, give it to him. And he says, do you understand and know why I pulled you over? I said, no, sir. I said, I don't think I was speeding. I was going the speed limit. And he says, yes, you were going the speed limit, but I pulled you over for your window tint.
Yeah.
And then he slaps a meter on my window tint, and my windows were too dark.
I believe it, because also, Evan, with my Mustang, I got a warning for my window tint as well.
Yeah.
In fact, I was in a Sting. I was coming off of Port St. Lucie
Boulevard.
Boulevard.
Were in a Sting?
You know how they like a Sting where they
that's where they're looking for drug people.
Or no, maybe like what do I want to say? Maybe it was called some sort of trap, where they're just waiting to get you and pulling drivers over and having them pull in to see if they're
I wouldn't call it a trap. They just have a speed zone set up.
I was directed to go in a parking lot with a line of other cars, and I think the officer said, I'm pulling you over here for your window tint. That's a warning. And he goes, by the way, you're not wearing a seatbelt.
Oh, that wasn't good.
And then I did get a seatbelt ticket from that. Not my window tint. Window tint was just a warning, but
seatbelt's that's 3 points.
And it was 3 points in my insurance, little bit.
Now, did you go to court?
No, I didn't go and
contest
it.
If you would have went to court and you send the ticket in, and you plead not guilty, and then you go to court and you change your plea from not guilty to no contest. You explain to the judge, you plead your case, and then you ask for no points. And more than likely, the judge will be lenient and he'll give you no points. Yeah, he'll give you no points. You'll pay a fine and you go on your way, but you get no points.
Will the officer usually show up at that, though?
Not on first appearance. No, because if you leave your plea as not guilty, then they set a trial date and you come back where the officer does show up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
well, that's good.
That's how it usually works.
Yeah, that's good to know for anybody listening. That might be a first time offender.
Now, keep in mind, I'm not an attorney, so I'm not giving out legal advice. I'm just telling you from experience.
Yeah. That's
my
good.
younger days, I went to court an awful lot.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
No.
Wasn't good. I got out of a lot of tickets. Trust me. I was on a first name basis with the judge.
Really?
Yeah. Oh,
you, Evan?
It's Evan again. Oh, he's back. It wasn't Mr. 9. It was Evan.
They just that judge would recognize your face.
Yeah, they knew exactly who I was.
Evan coming in
on
again.
A first name basis. Oh, here's Evan. Did you bring breakfast? Sure.
Did they start to know your last name too?
Yeah, they knew exactly who I was. I was a regular in the courts, just for speeding tickets. But I outgrew that. Wow. I don't speed no more. It's what happens when you get older. 6:48 news time. Let's go to the news desk. Here's Bonnie.
Thank you, Evan. A Miami man was shot in the face Sunday afternoon after complaining about slow service at a smoothie shop in Fort Pierce, according to police. The 39-year-old victim, who was a customer at the Tropical Smoothie Cafe on Okeechobee Road, was complaining about the length of time it was taking for his order just before 3:30 p.m. when a masked gunman entered the business and confronted the disgruntled customer, shooting him in the face, Fort Pierce police spokesman Mike Jockley said. After the shooting, the gunman ran off, prompting a large police perimeter in the area and at a nearby apartment complex, but the shooter wasn't found, Jockley said. The victim was taken to an area hospital where he remained Monday morning. Jockley said the victim is listed in serious condition, but is expected to recover. City officials hope the Humane Society of the Treasure Coast in Martin County and the Humane Society of Vero Beach in Indian River County can step up to provide at least short-term relief to its animal shelter operation. The cautious optimism comes despite no organization responding to the city's request this summer for a group to run the animal shelter. It had been operated by the Humane Society of St. Lucie County until October, when Fort Pierce, Port St. Lucie, and the county severed ties with the organization, citing financial transparency and concerns about animal welfare, including the mauling death of a volunteer. Fort Pierce officials reasoned their request for an operator was too narrow in asking an organization to be self-sustaining from day one, despite the challenges they face in fundraising during the coronavirus pandemic, and a business that inherently does not seek to turn a profit, instead reliant on donations. City officials said Monday agreed to a too-prolonged plan, attempt to negotiate with the Humane Societies in Martin and Indian River counties, which say are interested for at least a short-term takeover of the animal shelter in Fort Pierce, and put out a new request with less restrictions to better gauge who may be the best long-term group to run the shelter. A Fort Pierce man is accused of trafficking 28 grams of ecstasy. Hoveris Kelsey Andrews, age 35, of the 1700 block of North Dovetail Drive, Fort Pierce, was arrested on 2 counts of trafficking drugs, over 10 grams, and driving with a suspended license. Port St. Lucie Police Department officers said on Friday morning they stopped Andrews at Southwest Crosstown Parkway and Southwest California Boulevard for speeding. Officers said they saw Andrews drive 60 miles per hour in a 45 mile per hour zone. Police said when they stopped Andrews, he told them he didn't have a driver's license and agreed to let police search his Kia Forte. While searching the car, police said they found 28.41 grams of ecstasy, which is a little more than 0.06 of a pound. Andrews told police he picked up the ecstasy, which was in a black bag, from a friend who told him there was a surprise for him in the bag. Andrews was taken to the St. Lucie County Jail. He was released on $37,500 bail. And let's take a look at sports. And the NFL action goes on. A couple of games for Monday Night Football. The Steelers beating the New York Giants yesterday, 26-16. The Denver Broncos, they get beat by the Tennessee Titans, 16-14 last night. And our news time, 6:52. We'll have weather and traffic together next.
.653 the time right now on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's the Tuesday edition. It's time for traffic and weather together, all brought to you by Code Red Roofers. Bonnie?
Hey, and Evan, we're looking at a very nice ride this morning, and we're not finding any accidents for U.S. Highway 1 right now, and major highways are good if you're getting on those. There's your latest look at traffic. In Stewart, we have 77, and in Lagos, Nigeria, it's 76 degrees. And here's our forecast at WPTV.
This morning along the Treasure Coast, temperatures starting off in the mid-70s, partly cloudy skies and some isolated showers for that morning commute. This afternoon, highs in the upper 80s to low 90s, a mix of sun and clouds, and a 40% chance for showers and storms mainly inland, more sunshine towards the coast. For tomorrow, highs in the low 90s, a 30% chance for isolated showers and storms. We'll see drier air through the end of the work week with highs in the low 90s. Rain chances on the increase by the weekend. For the weekend, rain chances around 40%, highs in the low 90s, morning lows in the mid to upper 70s. I'm WPTV First Alert Meteorologist Katya Hall on WSTU AM 1450, Martin County's Heritage Station.
The show, we would love to hear from you. Send us an email to WSTUmorningshow@gmail.com. Now let's get back to the Get Up and Go show. Here's Evan and Bonnie.
Hi, this is Bentley in charge of concierge here at WSTU 1450 AM. And you are listening to two of my favorite people to serve, Evan and Bonnie. Oh, sorry, Miss Bonnie. Right here on WSTU, Martin County's Heritage Station.
That's right. You better get it right, Bentley. It's always Ms. Bonnie. Always remember that. Ms. Bonnie. It's not Bonnie.
That's like when I
It's respect.
When I went down to Louisiana before, the little girls there would pay their respects by saying Miss
Yep,
Bonnie.
Miss Bonnie.
It was all the time.
Always.
Yeah.
Anyway, we got to step back for a moment because the news is coming up next. So we'll tell you that we're WSTU Stewart. We're Martin County's Heritage Station. The news is coming up at 7 in the 8 o'clock hour. Sheriff William Snyder is going to be here from the Martin County Sheriff's Office, giving us an update on what's happening in Martin County. We'll be back right after this.
Coming to you live from Stuart, Florida, the greatest little town in the world. It's the Get Up and Go Show on AM 1450 WSTU. You're invited to call the show anytime at 772-220-9788. And now, broadcasting live from their palatial studio, here are your hosts, Evan and Bonnie.
Hello there. Why are you here?
Today is a very special day.
Why is today a special day?
It's National Thank You Day.
I, for one, can't say thank you enough.
I can't thank you enough.
Well, I guess you can try.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Or should I say thank you?
Happy National Thank You Day.
How do you want to celebrate?
Say thank you.
I say thank you.
Showtime. Oh, thank you very much. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Bonnie.
Do people
Thank
still send thank you notes anymore?
Thank you. Just want to keep saying thank you.
I mean, do you
It's
ever,
National Thank You Day.
do you ever hear that, like, when you do weddings, like after the wedding, or do people
I
send
get cards all the time.
thank you cards out?
All my brides
Yeah.
send me thank you notes.
That's very good.
Sometimes with a very nice, gracious tip inside of it.
Yeah. Oh,
as well.
a tip is always now. Those are the kind of thank you cards you want to see.
Well, even if I don't get a tip, I still like to get a thank you card. It's a sign of appreciation
And showing that
for
you did
the
a
hard
good job
work. Yes,
in the hard
exactly.
work.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's a good one. Cometh.
Yeah.
Cometh.
Definitely so. Is that a new word in the Webster
A
Dictionary?
good one cometh.
Cometh.
I don't know,
Okay.
but it sounds kind of biblical, doesn't it?
Biblical?
Yeah.
Cometh. Cometh. I wonder if we Google cometh, what the definition will come up with. Can you look at that for me?
I'll cometh with it.
Will you come up with it?
I'll cometh it with.
Cometh it? Cometh it?
Let's see.
Let's see what it says.
Okay.
Cometh. Definition of cometh.
And I'm spelling
What does
it
it
wrong.
say? You are?
Yeah, because
Okay.
I like cometh, a verb, third person, singular, simple present, indicative form of come.
Okay.
An indicative form of come.
Okay.
And so yes, how do you cometh? It is certainly a word. So
Interesting.
at least I believe I used it
Okay.
right.
So we have figured out what cometh means.
Yep.
Okay. Now we can just figure out our birthdays. It's time for birthdays, anniversaries, and back in the day. And Bonnie, what do we have this morning?
Well, yeah, I do have somebody. A happy belated birthday to Rachel. It was her birthday yesterday.
Oh, I thought you were talking about my wife.
Nope.
Like, don't start in on her. I promised her I wouldn't bother her.
Rachel is our good friend and family, neighbor. She's maybe a couple of blocks away from us, and married to Gary's nephew. And she just became a nurse this year.
Oh, wow.
So she completed her nursing degree, and everybody's very proud of her.
Rachel have a phone number?
She does, but I don't have it. I don't even have it in my phone right
Come
now.
on.
Because, it's like I don't even need her number. She lives so close that I can kind of like run over to her doorstep if I need to return something or to tell her something yeah, she lives that close. I don't even have her number.
All right.
But I can always go there.
Been here 8 months with you, and I haven't called one person yet of yours. And wish him a happy birthday.
Oh, we did call John.
John.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Because, John I call up all the time, and we do our cat talk.
Oh.
We like to talk about our pets.
Maybe we'll have Big Kitty call John. That would be an interesting conversation.
John would be like, what?
Yeah. John Bradley's 32 years old today. That's Samuel Tarly on Game of Thrones. Prince Harry, 36 years old, Meghan Markle's husband.
Yep. People always wonder like how he is in the succession, I guess, and the line to where he would become king.
Do you know what his royal title is?
It's the Duke of Sussex, right?
Yes, very good.
Duke of Sussex.
He's sixth in line for the British throne.
Yeah,
behind his father.
He would actually behind
brother
his
William.
dad, and then William, and is it William's 3 kids?
Yeah.
And then Harry, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Tom Hardy's 43 years old today. That's Eddie Brock in Venom. Sophia, or is it Sophie? I'm not sure. I'll just say Sophie Dahl, 43
I think-
years old today.
I think you're correct with that.
Sophie Dahl.
Yep.
Former plus-size model / Mick Jagger's fornication partner. I guess whatever that means. I guess his friend with benefits. Josh Charles, 49 years old today, the good wife in Dead Poets Society. KG is 51. That's the aging urban troubadour in Naughty by Nature. Dina Lohan, 58. That's Lindsay Lohan's mother. She was a wannabe celebrity back in the day. Now she's trying to live the dream through her children.
Oh, Dina Lohan, huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mr. Miami Dolphin himself, Dan Marino. Dan the man.
Oh, let me guess how old Dan. Can I take a guess? Maybe
Sure, without
just-
looking at your computer.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm
Okay.
not right now. I'm
Okay.
totally looking at something else. Would he be about 68?
No, he's 59.
Oh
Yeah,
man.
you've aged him quite much.
I hope he's not listening. It's kind of like I aged him by quite a lot, didn't I?
Yep. He was the star of Ace Ventura: Pet Detective. Also, so he's been in a motion picture.
Who has Jim Carrey?
No, Dan Marino.
Oh,
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, was he in Pet
yeah,
Detective?
that's what I just said.
I don't remember him being in that.
Yes.
I remember Jim Carrey.
He was the star of Ace Ventura.
I
Pet
remember.
Detective.
I remember the girl from Friends, Courtney Cox, being in that movie.
Yep.
Dan Marino had an appearance in it too.
Yes.
Oh, maybe he did because Ace Ventura was a pet detective down in Miami, right?
Yes.
Down in that area.
Yes.
I got to go back and rewatch that movie.
There you go.
I don't know why I don't remember Dan being in there.
Mitch George is 60 years old from the Crash Test Dummies. He's the drummer. Oliver Stone, 74. He directed Platoon, Wall Street, Born on the 4th of July, The Doors, JFK, Natural Born Killers, Any Given Sunday, Alexander, W., and Snowden. And he wrote a lot of these movies all by himself.
Wow, he produced a lot of movies.
Sure did.
That's a whole. How old does he turn today?
He's 74 years old
Oliver
today.
Stone, huh?
Yeah, Oliver Stone.
That's
the
a
one and only
lot of
Oliver Stone.
movies.
Yep. Tommy Lee Jones, 74 years old today. It's Colonel Phillips in Captain America.
Oh, and The Fugitive too. He's
Yep. Men in Black. Gaylord Perry, 82, Baseball Hall of Famer. Merlin Olsen, Birthday in the Heavens, former Football Hall of Famer. I remember Merlin Olsen. He had this big, thick beard.
Yeah.
Passed away about 10 years ago.
Wasn't he like really good friends, I think, with Michael Landon too?
Yep.
And he was I'm pretty sure he was in Little House and
Yep.
then in Highway to Heaven.
Yep.
He was a good man.
Good friend of mine. Nipsey Russell. Nipsey Russell.
Who is that?
Nipsey Russell.
Nipsey Russell?
Nipsey Russell.
Oh, I think I've
He
heard
was
of-
great.
I've heard, yeah.
Yeah, he was great. He was a genius. He was
Yeah.
a great comedian. He was the Tin Man in The Wiz also. Penny Singleton celebrating a birthday in the heavens. That's Jane Jetson's voice on the Jetsons. Did you know that Penny Singleton played Jane Jetson?
I did not.
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
Roy Acuff celebrating a birthday in
Roy-
the heavens.
Roy Acuff.
Acuff, I'm sorry.
Yep.
King of country music and the first living person elected to the Country Music Hall of Fame.
I did not know that Roy Acuff was no longer with us.
Yep.
I didn't. I just never heard of his passing.
Yeah, he passed away in 1992.
Wow. Good
Yeah.
long time ago.
That's almost 20 years ago.
Yeah.
18 years to be exact. Today is National Online Learning Day. National Online Learning Day.
And a lot of kids are at home doing it. So
Yep.
we learned from Lori Gaylord yesterday, and
Mhm.
when she was here, and
Yep.
it seems like a number of kids are really doing it half and half.
Yeah.
You know, where half are in school and half are doing the online thing at home.
Yep.
Yep.
You know what this Saturday is?
Saturday would
Yeah.
be a very fun day.
Yeah,
I'm going to guess maybe National Pizza Day.
No, it's National Talk to a Pirate Day.
Oh, yeah.
Arr, matey. Arr,
right.
arr. So that means you have to find a pirate and talk to a pirate.
Gary can be my pirate,
Okay.
and I'll be his piratess,
All right.
if that's a
You'll
word.
be the pirate diva.
Yeah.
190 years ago today, Bonnie, in 1830, an unlucky politician named William Huskisson became the first person run over by a train.
Oh, really?
He was attending the
Oh.
opening of the Liverpool and Manchester Railway
What year was that?
190 years ago. That's 1830.
Wow, what a tragedy! When he was just like attending the grand opening.
Yeah, he
and
was
then,
run over. First person ever run over
Oh, that's
by a train.
tragic. What
Yep.
what a huge mistake
Yep.
that had to have been. And he was a politician at the time.
Yep. 68 years ago in 1952, the classic I Love Lucy episode, Lucy in the Candy Factory, first aired.
Oh, that was classic, wasn't it?
That episode, I will always remember that episode
Yeah.
when she was on the candy line and she was shoving all that candy in her mouth
Oh, yeah.
as fast as it could go. That was hilarious.
That was some sweet comedy right there.
58 years ago in 1962, the Four Seasons got their first number one hit with Sherry. They're the guys from Jersey Boys.
Yeah, did you see that movie?
Sure did.
Jersey Boys.
Great movie.
I loved it. That's for sure. I want to go back and rewatch that. I think my favorite song from the Four Seasons might be their 1979 one, "Who Loves Ya."
Yep, "Who Loves You, Pretty Baby."
Yeah. Oh, that's a favorite.
55 years ago today in 1965, the science fiction classic Lost in Space, set in the oh-so-distant year of 1997, premiered on CBS.
Mm-hmm.
It ran for 3 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
The new Netflix version returns for its 3rd season next year.
I've watched that. I watched the new one on Netflix. I think I've watched the first 2 hours of it, the first 2 episodes. I couldn't get into that. That just didn't. That was just one of those where I started watching. It didn't grab me enough to keep watching.
47 years ago today in 1973, Elton John's classic hit, "Saturday Night's All Right for Fighting," peaked at number 12 on the Billboard chart.
Did you see Rocket Man?
Yes.
Did you like it?
Love Rocket Man.
Did you really?
Loved it. I'm a big Elton John fan.
I mean, seriously, Evan, I'll admit, the movie did like nothing for me. I didn't like the movie, and it's weird because like I've been a bigger Elton John fan than I've been a Queen fan in the past. Now, when I saw Bohemian Rhapsody, I just completely loved the music. I loved the movie, and I came out having a better appreciation for Queen music more after seeing the movie, where Rocket Man had the opposite effect on me. I'm loving the Elton John music, but I hated the movie.
Mark Hales just joined on our Facebook page. It says, "Hello from Croydon in Surrey, southeast England, with hazy sunshine, 28 degrees Celsius, otherwise known as 82 degrees Fahrenheit."
So it's 82.
82 over in Sydney, over in Surrey, southeast
Surrey,
England.
Surrey, England.
Yes.
Now we got to go there. Now we have to visit that beautiful countryside.
I want to stay at his house.
I know, right?
I want to have tea and crumpets with him.
Yeah.
But that would be fun. I wonder if he'd put me up for a week. I'll have to reach out to him and see if he'll put me up and if he'll buy my plane ticket and fly me over there in the whole 9 yards.
You just never know.
And I'll broadcast from his home live from England.
I'm guaranteeing I don't know if he's going to pay your plane fare for you, Evan.
Hey, you never know.
I don't know how much it is to get on over to England.
Oh, it's
I never
not that bad. I've got enough
that.
miles on my Delta Sky Miles account.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
So I could do it that way too.
I am hoping to go to Ireland someday.
The look of the Irish.
If there's any country, I want to visit Ireland, and I want to go on the countryside out by the sea where they have the huge castles. I want to visit that area.
42 years ago today in 1978, Muhammad Ali defeated the lovely Leon Spinks 15 rounds to win an unprecedented 4th heavyweight boxing title.
Oh, the days when Muhammad Ali used to fight. My parents would have the fights on.
Yep.
They were like really into that.
Yep. 19 years ago in 2001, President Bush declared war on terror in the aftermath of September the 11th, the terrorist attacks.
Yeah.
Yep. 19 years ago today is when he declared war. 17 years ago in 2003, Madonna released her children's book, The English Roses. And 1 year ago in 2019, Cars frontman Rick Ocasek.
Ocasek.
I'm sorry.
Yep.
Rick Ocasek passed away at the age of 75 years old.
That was a sad day for music when we lost Rick Ocasek.
Yes.
For the Cars.
Definitely
and
so.
Benjamin Orr from that band too, the late Benjamin Orr. Of course, he died several years before Rick did. But those are just two legendary, members of probably one of the best groups of the 1980s, and then some.
Yeah, Mark just told me that tea and scones with jelly and clotted cream is more the thing for Southern England. And he said, we welcome all our American cousins.
Oh.
So maybe he is going to fly me to England, and maybe he'll put me up for a couple of days, and I'll come do the show live from England at Mark's house.
Would that be amazing?
I'll just take the portable broadcast system out there.
Yeah.
That would be a lot of fun.
You would be loving those scones too.
That would be a lot of fun. I have no idea what scones are.
They're like
clotted cream.
I believe
don't
they're
know what
like
that is.
I think they're like sweet pie rolls.
Maybe he could mail us some Ziploc bag, put it in the mail. I wonder what they would be like when they got here.
Yeah, they're kind of like a dessert pastry, I believe.
If you send it FedEx, it would
it.
get here the next day. So that would be interesting.
We can only hope they would get there the next day.
Well, I would hope
I mean,
so.
they might not be too delicious if they arrive 5 days late.
Well, it depends. If he puts it on dry ice
Mhm.
or freezes it or something like that, maybe it'll get here, safe and sound.
I've never done that. I've never had I should be having Chicago style pizzas delivered to me, pasties from the Upper Peninsula.
Pasties?
Pasties. They are a meat and potato pie that's specially made. It's kind of like a UP, Upper Michigan, Northern Wisconsin pie that they make, and they made it for the people that were miners. Started, taking them down into the mines in the old days.
I thought miners like you're talking about people under the age of 18.
I mean, in the copper mine.
Gotcha.
In the iron ore mines.
Gotcha. 7:22 right now. Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's Tuesday edition. Let's go to the news desk. Bonnie's standing by. Good morning, Bonnie.
Good morning, Evan. Governor Ron DeSantis has announced a replacement pick to the Florida Supreme Court. DeSantis said Monday he has appointed appellate Judge Jamie Groshans to fill the spot that would have been held by his original appointment, Palm Beach County Judge Renatha Francis. The Republican governor was ordered to appoint another judge Friday after the high court ruled that Francis was constitutionally ineligible to serve. Francis, who would have been the Caribbean American justice to serve on the court, was expected to be sworn in later this month, but her appointment was nullified after State Representative Geraldine Thompson filed a lawsuit seeking to invalidate Francis's appointment because she had not been a member of the Florida bar for 10 years, as required by the state constitution. Francis was admitted to the Florida bar on September 24, 2010. DeSantis appointed the Palm Beach County judge to the role in May. DeSantis, along with several South Florida Black politicians, defended his decision to appoint Francis during a news conference last week in Miramar. However, this may not be the end of the road for Francis. DeSantis said he called President Donald Trump and asked him to consider Francis for a spot on the federal bench. Mark Johnson, age 61, has lived his entire life around alligators. That's why he was so surprised when one tried to grab him and drag him into a canal behind his southeastern Port St. Lucie home. Mark tells us about what happened.
It was about 9 o'clock Sunday morning. I normally walk my golden retriever Rex from this direction. We walk all out in here. We were coming back. I did see the gator out here, probably 50 yards away. He was in the middle of the canal. He'd probably seen us walking. We were walking along. This water was lower yesterday. I was walking in a little mud bank and some grass right here. Rex was eating the grass along the way. I look up, the next thing I know, the gator's beelining. Fastest I've ever seen one move. Come wide open at us, and I tolerate Rex until Rex go home. I look at Rex, he's out. Next thing I back up a second, I don't know why. And that gator's right here. My left foot with my Crocs on, I'm in the mud, which is covered with water now. And the gator, I can see his snout right here. And I'm trying to move in that split second, both feet, and he lunged. And that's my pants. I still have them from yesterday, but I don't have them on. He tore my pants here. He came all the way up to here. My foot was hanging out of one side of the mouth. I remember seeing my foot hanging out. And all I could think of was poke his eyes. I'm staring right at him. I see those green eyes. I used this finger, which is, I think there's 5 stitches there, which tore around his eye socket because it's pretty sharp around there. And this finger, and I poked in as hard as I could, and he opened up. And that gave me a chance to get my foot, my whole leg out.
Mark went to St. Lucie Medical Center where the wound was disinfected and treated. He received 12 puncture wounds and about 60 stitches in his leg, plus another 5 in the index finger on his left hand, where he cut it on the gator's eye socket. Authorities are asking for the public's help in locating a missing 11-year-old girl. WPTV's ABC Action News reporter has this.
Breaking news, there is now a statewide missing child alert in place for this 11-year-old girl from Tampa. The Florida Department of Law Enforcement issuing that alert for Darylyn Eichal at 7 o'clock tonight. They say she could be with 28-year-old Martin Eichal, and they have reason to believe she is in danger. Darylyn was last seen in the 2700 block of Chestnut Street in Tampa. We've posted her photo on our ABC Action News social media pages so you can share it and help spread the word.
Lastly, Amazon said Monday that it's seeking to hire 100,000 full and part-time employees in addition to the 33,000 corporate and technology jobs it announced last week. The company says the opportunities are becoming available in its fulfillment and logistics network as it expands its footprint in the U.S. and Canada. Many of the new jobs are at the company's newest fulfillment, sorting, and delivery buildings. The states with the most roles available include Arizona, California, Colorado, Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, Maryland, Michigan, New Jersey, Ohio, Oregon, Pennsylvania, Utah, Washington, and Wisconsin. On Sunday, several NFL coaches were seen either not wearing masks or wearing them incorrectly. Yesterday, the league said accountability measures will be imposed against anyone who violates the mask rule. There's no word what those accountability measures will be. Our news time is 7:27. We'll have weather and traffic together next.
$7:28. Time now on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for traffic and weather together, all brought to you by Code Red Roofers. Bonnie?
And if you're trying to squeeze yourself out the door, got to get there by 8, don't worry. You have plenty of time to get there. No tie-ups are on the roads. We're not seeing any accidents. You shouldn't be slowed down anywhere through Martin and St. Lucie County this morning. Roads are good. There's your latest look at traffic. It is 77 in Port St. Lucie. It's a cool 46 in Alberta, Canada. And here's our forecast at WPTV.
This morning along the Treasure Coast, temperatures starting off in the mid-70s, partly cloudy skies and some isolated showers for that morning commute. This afternoon, highs in the upper 80s to low 90s, a mix of sun and clouds, and a 40% chance for showers and storms mainly inland, more sunshine towards the coast. For tomorrow, highs in the low 90s, a 30% chance for isolated showers and storms. We'll see drier air through the end of the work week with highs in the low 90s. Rain chances on the increase by the weekend. For the weekend, rain chances around 40%, highs in the low 90s, morning lows in the mid to upper 70s. I'm WPTV First Alert Meteorologist Katya Hall on WSTU AM 1450, Martin County's Heritage Station.
Let's get back to the Get Up and Go show. Here's Evan and Bonnie.
I'm taking the test just one more time. Now I'm all alone in my car in this long, long line. The first time that I took it, it came back inconclusively. Now I've got to find out if I'm virus-free. My girl, she asked me, please. So stick another cotton swab in my nasal cavity. What? I've been waiting here for hours, and I really need to pee. If you don't stick a cotton swab in my nasal cavity, I'll never know if I could make her sick, 'cause I look healthy as can be. So stick another cotton swab in my nasal cavity.
All right, that's my new favorite parody song. Stick another cotton swab in my nasal cavity. Hey, a programming note. Make sure and listen later on today at 10 a.m. Great show coming on. I enjoy working the show with these guys. Gary Owen and Tom Bouvier, The Quality of Life. They're from the Owen Insurance Group. You want to make sure and check these guys out. They have a great show on. They've got a lot of informative information, so make sure and tune in at 10:06 this morning. Comes up right after the news. Right now, speaking of news, it's time to do some stupid news.
And now it's time for Stupid News.
It's so stupid and awesome.
Where we ask the important questions.
Are some people too stupid to live?
Why are people so stupid?
Are you effing stupid?
Well, let's go to Bedford. Bedford, I think that's in Massachusetts.
Oh, yeah, that sounds about right. I think we have Bedford, Arkansas, too, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't know. Bedford here, Bedford there, Bedford everywhere. State police in Bedford say 3 people have been arrested recently for stealing multiple vehicles, including a state police cruiser. Troopers say state police attempted to stop a vehicle traveling along the turnpike for traffic violations, but that vehicle fled. The report states that the vehicle was eventually disabled and that its 3 occupants fled into the wooded area. Troopers say one of the individuals was immediately taken into custody, but that one of the other fleeing individuals stole a state police cruiser and again fled the scene. The stolen cruiser was eventually disabled as well. It's cruiser number 2, and the remaining 2 suspects were taken into custody. Police later learned that the initial vehicle that the trio was traveling in was reported stolen out of Jersey.
Now, Evan, you said that you sped before. You were a speeder.
Yeah.
But I bet you've never stolen a patrol cruiser, have
no.
you?
Oh, heck no.
Have you even ever
That's a
stolen
death sentence.
Have you ever stolen a vehicle, Evan? Have you?
No.
No.
Never have. Never have. Let's go to San Francisco, where a dominatrix has insisted that people should accept this sort of behavior after her and her slave were barred from a pub in downtown San Francisco for public display of bondage. Dominatrix Lydia Chadwick, 30 years old, had tied her slave to a beam in the pub with a dog leash and spanked the masked person with a paddle on Sunday at the pub in full view of other patrons. Customers who witnessed the act filmed the bizarre episode and shared it online, but Lydia defended her actions, telling people they should get out of the dark ages and accept this sort of behavior. They were asked to leave the pub and never return.
Where was this pub at? In
San Francisco.
San Francisco.
Francisco, downtown San Fran.
You would think there would be a pub there that they would get away with that sort of thing. I mean, San Francisco, but anywhere else, maybe not. But I thought certainly maybe they would get away with that sort of thing there.
Gary Owen just messaged me through Facebook, and he says, maybe we should have a dominatrix on our show.
Oh, get your dominatrix insurance then.
I could arrange that. I'm sure you have dominatrix insurance, so why not? What the heck?
What kind of insurance does Gary Owen
They
sell?
do all kinds of insurance.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, they do all types of insurance.
Health insurance? insurance too?
Not dominatrix
Okay.
insurance. I'll tell you that much. No, definitely not. Don't want to give the wrong idea.
Well, I'm going to tune in if it's the
Without
other kind of insurance. Then
yeah,
that,
definitely you should tune in.
reassured.
It's a great show.
Yeah.
There's a 33-year-old woman named Lonnie Pavlovich in Queensland, Australia. She works as a sex instructor and a life coach. Those are two different individual jobs.
Kind of like a Dr. Ruth, maybe?
Yeah.
Dr. Ruth West.
Dr. Ruth. I've actually had her on my syndicated program
Oh,
before.
did you? Oh,
I have her phone number.
I bet she was so much fun.
She was a lot of fun. And this sex worker and life coach has launched a service where men can send their pictures of their junk, and she will rate the pictures.
Rate some.
She'll rate the
How is
pictures
she
and give
rating 'em?
honest feedback.
Oh my goodness.
You know, whether
That's
it's too
just
short,
wrong.
whether it's too long, whether it's too thick, whether it's too thin. She'll also include tips for them on how to improve the look and suggest good positions that will help them get the most out of what they're packing.
She actually gets paid for this?
Yes. So what would you pay for this service, you asked, Bonnie? Well, it's only $37.
That's it.
$37. And she'll rate your junk.
Yeah, but it could cost you a lifetime of low self-esteem if
Well-
it's not rated well.
Well, I don't know.
I mean,
Maybe I should try it.
oh,
Maybe I should try it just for the heck of it to report back to the listeners.
I would recommend that you spend that $37 better
Why
amongst
not?
better things.
Come on, rate your junk.
I mean, I could think of a lot of better things to buy than
Rate your junk for $37.
I don't
Okay.
know, man.
I don't have a website you can go to or anything. I just read the story the way I get it.
It's crazy.
Let's go to Johnson City, Tennessee, where my father-in-law, my in-laws live there. Tennessee man was arrested Sunday after police say he tried to steal a taxi and drive off with a 3-month-old inside, according to the police report. Excuse me. According to a release from Johnson City PD, officers were called to Clark Street Baptist Church after receiving reports of a domestic disturbance. When the officers arrived, they reportedly encountered Travis Delaney, 37, walking with a stroller close to the location of the disturbance. The release says the 3-month-old child was in the stroller. After speaking with Delaney, officers found that the guy was intoxicated and tried to call him a taxi. Police reports that when the taxi arrived, Delaney would not get in. Police say officers had no choice after his refusal but to take him into custody for public intoxication. While officers were attempting to arrest Delaney, he allegedly resisted and eventually tried to steal the taxi and drive it while the child was inside.
With a child inside.
Yeah.
How bad of him to do that, intoxicated, and
Yeah.
I hope the 3-year-old boy was all right.
Yeah.
After all of this.
Very interesting.
Yeah, that's a knucklehead right there.
On Thursday of last week, deputies responded to the call and heard a bizarre story from a homeowner. The woman told authorities she came outside to find a man in women's undergarments taking mail out of her mailbox.
Walking around in women's underwear.
I've done that before. When she asked what he was doing, 64-year-old David Dunaway began yelling incoherently and attempted to attack her while she was in the vehicle. Dunaway swung at her through the car window, but only hit her with the stolen mail, according to the report.
With the stolen mail.
The stolen mail. The woman drove a short distance away to put space between the two of them, but Dunaway chased after her in the women's underwear. He was eventually arrested. Could you imagine a guy running down the road in women's underwear,
and
high heels, pantyhose,
and chasing
a bra,
you.
and panties,
chasing you?
and chasing you?
Now that would be definitely a scary matter.
Yeah.
I'm going to have nightmares about that now tonight.
Here's something else that'll give you nightmares, Bonnie. This happened in La Follette, Tennessee. The police in La Follette, Tennessee got a call recently when somebody spotted a topless woman in their yard chewing on a miniature horse's mane.
What?
Yeah. The woman turned out to be 47-year-old Cynthia Teeple. And when the cops got there and asked her what she was doing, she said, quote, "The horse's hair is made of Laffy Taffy and Airheads." Cynthia was taking meth earlier that day. And before she moved on to the horse's mane for dessert, she'd also chewed some grass and dirt in the yard. She was arrested for public intoxication.
Higher than a kite, huh?
Yeah.
Thinking that horse's mane, there was something else. And maybe she thought it was spaghetti or something too.
lastly, if you're going to rob a store, don't show your ID to the clerk when robbing it. In Lincoln, Nebraska, police arrested a 21-year-old man on suspicion of robbery after they say he grabbed cash out of a register and ran out of the Walgreens. Police say the man came into the store after 7 a.m, bought cigarettes. He then jumped over the counter and grabbed the money. Strangely enough, he showed his driver's license to the clerk to prove he was old enough to make the purchase, so the clerk was able to give officers a copy of his driver's license. Police quickly discovered that he owned a vehicle matching the description of the getaway vehicle. Just before 9 p.m., the suspect called the police and said he knew that officers were searching for him. Police then went to his home and recovered the cigarettes the man had purchased, as well as some bills possibly stolen during the robbery.
Some people are even just too stupid to commit crimes.
Yeah. I have one more I have to read. I'm
Okay.
sorry. I said the last one was going to be the last one.
No, let's hear.
But this one, I want to. I don't know who I want to send this one out to, but this one is a real good one.
Do you have like a dedication for it, like
I
a
don't
long
know.
distance dedication?
No, this is not Casey Kasem in American
No.
Top 40, but a voter who was told she couldn't wear an anti-Trump shirt at a polling place because it violated electioneering rules simply took it off and did her civic duty topless.
Oh.
The woman walked into a polling place in New Hampshire on primary election day wearing a McCain Hero Trump Zero t-shirt. Town moderator Paul Scafidi told her she couldn't wear the shirt featuring a political candidate while she voted. The woman pointed out that another woman nearby was wearing a t-shirt in support of the American flag, Scafidi said. He answered that an American flag was not electioneering and that Trump Zero shirt would have to be covered. She was arrested and taken to jail for indecent exposure.
Well, maybe she had a long commute there. I mean, maybe the commute was so long and boring that she obviously didn't want to go home and change her shirt.
I don't know, but
She wanted to get that voting done.
I never knew that polling places allowed you to vote topless now. Very interesting. Extremely, very, very interesting.
Yeah. I mean, it certainly would have made, like, if you were in a long voting line, it certainly would have made it less boring.
I would have made it entertaining.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. And there's your stupid news for a Tuesday. And we go from stupid news to real news. Here's Bonnie.
Thank you, Evan. A Miami man was shot in the face Sunday afternoon after complaining about slow service at a smoothie shop in Fort Pierce, police said. The 39-year-old victim, who was a customer at the Tropical Smoothie Cafe on Okeechobee Road, was complaining about the length of time it was taking for his order just before 3:30 p.m. when a masked gunman entered the business and confronted the disgruntled customer him in the face. Fort Pierce police spokesman Mike Jockley said after the shooting, the gunman ran off, prompting a large police perimeter in the area and at a nearby apartment complex, but the shooter wasn't found, Jockley said. The victim was taken to an area hospital where he remained Monday morning. Jockley said the victim is listed in serious condition but is expected to recover. Mark Johnson, age 61, has lived his entire life around alligators. That's why he was so surprised when one tried to grab him and drag him into a canal behind his southeastern Port St. Lucie home. Mark tells us about what happened.
It was about 9 o'clock Sunday morning. I normally walk my Golden Retriever Rex from this direction. We walk all out in here. We were coming back. I did see the gator out here, probably 50 yards away. He was in the middle of the canal. He had probably seen us walking. We were walking along. This water was lower yesterday. I was walking in a little mud bank and some grass right here. Rex was eating the grass along the way. I look up, and next thing I know, the gator's beelining. Fastest I've ever seen one move. Come wide open at us. And I holler at Rex until Rex go home. I look at Rex, he's out. Next thing I back up a second, I don't know why. And that gator's right here. My left foot with my Crocs on, which is covered with water now. And the gator, I can see his snout right here. And I'm trying to move in that split second, both feet, and he lunged. And that's my pants. I still have them from yesterday, but I don't have them on. He tore my pants here. He came all the way up to here. My foot was hanging out of one side of the mouth. I remember seeing my foot hanging out, and all I could think of was poke his eyes. I'm staring right at him. I see those green eyes. I used this finger, which is, I think there's 5 stitches there, which tore around his eye socket because it's pretty sharp around there. And this finger, and I poked in as hard as I could, and he opened up, and that gave me a chance to get my whole leg out.
Mark went to St. Lucie Medical Center where the wound was disinfected and treated. He received 12 puncture wounds and about 60 stitches in his leg, plus another 5 in the index finger on his left hand where he cut it on the gator's eye socket. A Fort Pierce man is accused of trafficking 28 grams of ecstasy. Havoris Kelsey Andrews, age 35, of the 1700 block of North Dovetail Drive, Fort Pierce, was arrested on 2 counts of trafficking drugs over 10 grams and driving with a suspended license. Port St. Lucie Police Department officers said on Friday morning they stopped Andrews at Southwest Crosstown Parkway and Southwest California Boulevard for speeding. Officers said they saw Andrews drive 60 miles per hour in a 45 mile per hour zone. Police said when they stopped Andrews, he told them he didn't have a driver's license and agreed to let police search his Kia Forte. While searching the car, police said they found 28.41 grams of ecstasy, which is a little more than 0.06 of a pound. Andrews told police he picked up the ecstasy, which was in a black bag, from a friend who told him there was a surprise for him in the bag. Andrews was taken to the St. Lucie County Jail and released on $37,500 bail. Lastly, Amazon said Monday that it's seeking to hire 100,000 full and part-time employees in addition to the 33,000 corporate and technology jobs it announced last week. The company says the opportunities are becoming available in its fulfillment and logistics network as it expands its footprint in the U.S. and Canada. In the Major League Baseball action from last night, there were a couple of double headers of the Cincinnati Reds beating Pittsburgh Pirates 3-1, and of Cincinnati winning again over the Pirates 9-4 in that second game, and the Brewers 2-1 win over St. Louis. And then in that second one, the Brewers lost to St. Louis 3-2. The Phillies getting beat by the Marlins 6-2 yesterday. Seattle Mariners over Oakland Athletics 6-5. Baltimore Orioles beating Atlanta Braves 14-1. The Chicago White Sox beating the Twins 3-1, and it was the Padres beating the LA Dodgers 7-2. News time 7:50. Weather and traffic together are next.
$7:52 the time right now on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for traffic and weather together, all brought to you. Roofers. Bonnie?
And it's a good morning to be on the roads right now through Stewart and Palm City. Everything's looking fine. In Port St. Lucie all the way up to Fort Pierce, the roads are looking clear. No slowdowns, no tie-ups. There's your latest look at traffic. And it's 75 in Port St. Lucie. In Bishop, California, it's 54 degrees. And here's our forecast at WPTV.
This morning along the Treasure Coast, temperatures starting off in the mid-70s, partly cloudy skies and some isolated showers for that morning commute. This afternoon, highs in the upper 80s to low 90s, a mix of sun and clouds, and a 40% chance for showers and storms mainly inland, more sunshine towards the coast. For tomorrow, highs in the low 90s, a 30% chance for isolated showers and storms. We'll see drier air through the end of the work week with highs in the low 90s. Rain chances on the increase by the weekend. For the weekend, rain chances around 40%, highs in the low 90s, morning lows in the mid to upper 70s. I'm WPTV First Alert Meteorologist Katya Hall on WSTU AM 1450, Martin County's Heritage Station.
Let's get back to the Get Up and Go show. Here's Evan and Bonnie.
Everybody, flush the Everybody, wipe that body right. And also, clean that rim tonight!
Yes, please.
Dance along with me, baby. Come on. We might actually do want to do this, but it's not too bad. Yeah, the 10-year-old of mine.
So gross.
When he pees, it's like he's blind. He should really be ashamed. Cause he has the world's worst name. Let me ask you this. It's inconsiderate. Yeah. When he wipes his butt. Yeah. He clogs the toilet. Yeah. Because he uses half the roll and still he didn't get it all. Everybody.
Yeah, wipe the potty. That's what it's called. Wipe the potty, Bonnie.
What is the normal lyrics to that? Where's the party or something?
No, it's Everybody by Backstreet Boys.
Oh yeah, everybody.
Yes.
That's right.
Everybody by the Backstreet Boys. But they've redone and called it Wipe the Potty.
Wipe the potty.
Yes, wipe the potty.
I did enough of that last week because
Did
you
you?
know I cleaned 3 bathrooms at my house.
Did you really?
All in one morning.
Is Gary neat or does he make a mess? Because I will tell you straightforward, I'm the worst. If I have to go at 2 or 3 in the morning, I don't put the light on. I just hope to God it gets where it has to go. I don't have a laser light or a beam or nothing on that thing. So
Yeah, everybody seems to be pretty neat in my house.
Yeah.
I really don't have a big,
Yeah.
problem. The big problem I have is that nobody respects the fact that I want to recycle. So I will find, cans in regular garbage, and then I'm the
Okay.
one that has to go and sort back through it and say, "Don't you know we recycle here?"
Oh, so you got to stick your hand in that nasty trash.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I think that's my my only beef
Okay.
with family members
All right.
of the
All right.
cleanliness.
I have to remember to put the seat down for Rachel. That's something I have to remember to do.
You never
That's-
do that?
No, I always leave it up.
Can't
Just
you
courtesy.
Just like you should just start,
I
putting
know.
it down, force of habit.
I know. We're WSTU Stewart, Martin County's Heritage Station. Here comes the news. We'll be right back.
Coming to you live from Stuart, Florida, the greatest little town in the world. It's the Get Up and Go Show on AM 1450 WSTU. You're invited to call the show anytime at 772-220-9788. And now, broadcasting live from their palatial studios, here are your hosts, Evan and Bonnie.
8:07 on the Get Up and Go Show with Evan and Bonnie, and it's time for our weekly visit with the one and only Sheriff of Martin County. Sheriff William Snyder joins us on our line. Good morning, Sheriff. How you doing today?
Hey, good morning, Evan, Bonnie, Martin County. I'm doing well.
Good. Always good to hear. How are you doing, your family, and, of course, the extended family at the Sheriff's Office as well?
Both are in very good shape. We've had some COVID in the Sheriff's Office. It seems to have run its course. I think we have one in the jail on observation. And beside that, all systems are go.
Excellent. Good to hear. Good to hear everybody's healthy, and it's always a good thing. I wanted to talk about a subject with you this morning, Sheriff, about the terrible incident that happened out in L.A. where those two L.A. deputies were pretty much shot at point-blank range by this garbage, is what I'd like to call them.
Yeah, well, I'm sure we all have our descriptive adjectives for him, his behavior. My first concern, of course, is the deputies. I've seen a lot of gunshot wounds in my life. You know, we read these accounts, and now it says it looks like they're going to survive, which is wonderful. But a bullet hitting you anywhere in the body has a tremendous impact. But they were both hit in their head region. So I think one in the forehead, one in the jaw. Those are life-changing wounds. It's hard to picture, but a bullet crashing into a jaw. The female, I think, got it in the jaw.
Mm-hmm.
Undoubtedly has rearranged the way she looks, the way she'll eat, the way she'll be, her psychology of her life. So a lot happened in those split seconds.
There were a lot of things that had surfaced in regards to one of the deputies had, I guess, took care of the other deputy until medical help arrived. I mean, she didn't even think. I don't know if it was her or him. There was one male and one female, correct?
Yeah, the accounts are there's one male and one female. You see in the video that passenger door opens.
Right.
So I have to assume that somebody's instinct was kicking in. They were wanting to get out of that car and engage the shooter or prevent further shots being fired, but never made it out of the car. And of course, the follow-up was that they were both in critical condition, so maybe they were not able to get out of the car.
They were fairly young too, weren't they? Rookie deputies. I heard one maybe only the age of 26, and I could have sworn I heard they were quite young deputies.
Yeah, I think the female was in her earlier 30s, the male deputy in mid-20s.
Yeah.
Both of them came out of the same academy class, and I think their accounts are they've been on for a year.
The mindset of somebody, why they would want to do that. I mean, I can't fathom why somebody would want to walk up to a law enforcement officer's vehicle, point a weapon, and pull a trigger and change somebody's life just at the blink of an eye.
You know, there's so much to unwrap here, but just kind of broadly, I would say this. Law enforcement personnel have been ambushed over the years. You know, I've been in the industry since the 70s. It happened back then.
Right.
I remember a Broward Sheriff's deputy just on the county line from where I was working, writing a report in the back of a convenience store, was shot at point-blank range and killed. It's not that ambushing cops is new. It's that the level of violence against law enforcement is new and unparalleled.
It's a shame, really, Sheriff, that it's really gotten this bad, because it just seems like, most of my life I've never seen it this bad before until now, recently.
Well, you had the 60s, and there was a lot of antipathy towards law enforcement. You had in New York, you had the Panthers, the Black Liberation Army. You had attacks on law enforcement. So I would say this is probably in that arena. What I think is different today is that it's more widespread. You saw it in some big cities. I think you remember Philadelphia,
Right.
had a kind of a gun battle with law enforcement. But now you're seeing it spreading out, and certainly this level of violence on the West Coast is, I mean, to me, it seems unparalleled.
Do you think it's Sheriff? Do you think it's a little bit worse than the '60s? Do you have any thoughts on that?
Without looking at statistics, I mean, just it feels anecdotally like it's worse. The '60s saw aggression towards law enforcement. You did see the anti-Vietnam movement. So there was a lot of social upheaval. So today, in parallel with the aggression towards law enforcement, there is also social upheaval. You have the Black Lives Matter movement and social upheaval throughout the country. I think you have a much more aggressive left of center, far left group here today than we did back then. And I think the emergence of the far right is probably striking compared to the '60s.
And just think we had like less channels to get that information back in the '60s too, where maybe you had 3 networks on the TV to watch at home. Your information came by newspaper. Now everything is like at us at once through live videos and Facebook and YouTube, and we can get all of these some haunting images just instantly now and anywhere.
Yeah, I think, Bonnie, that's absolutely the case. So it's in your living room. Back in the '60s, it was in your living room, with the 3 channels. Today,
Right.
It's in your pocket, in your cell phone. People can pick it up all day long and track the violence. I think what else you have today, which you didn't have in the '60s, is you have it's much easier for these far groups, whether they're left or right, to mobilize. And, you're seeing this in New York. You have a couple of these social leaders who are able to send out a text and mobilize a few hundred people. We saw that over the weekend, I think, or someday last week, where they went onto, I believe it was the George Washington Bridge, or one of the bridges in New York, it's irrelevant, and shut it down and then skirmished with police. So that's completely new. You couldn't do that, decades ago.
Yeah, that's why we're like the media, for us to get that instant information, and send information. It's good in some ways, but it can have its downfalls in some ways too.
Yeah, well, the negative impact it has on law enforcement is 30, 40 years ago, when there was an incident, it took a couple of days for people to kind of figure out what happened. You had to read the newspaper, you had to watch TV. You couldn't you couldn't have streams of conversation on Facebook or the other apps. Today, you can people form an opinion within seconds, and that's why you see in these incidents where law enforcement has taken some kind of action,
Right.
especially in a gunfire incident, you could have a crowd gather within moments. They have a trial and a jury, and then the execution, and the locks and bottles start sometimes within minutes.
Yeah, and like there's so much information out there too, Sheriff, and sometimes you'll look at a video and your attention span is only that long. And I think it's just like Evan stated last week, when you're seeing these videos of what went on, what went down, sometimes we're only looking at it for maybe 15 or 20 seconds, if that long at a time, and then moving on. Our attention span can be so limited that we don't take the time to study and examine the whole picture of something that went down.
Yeah, of course. And an objectively reasonable person would have to come to the conclusion that with 800,000+ law enforcement personnel in the United States and thousands and thousands on duty at any given time, there are going to be legitimate uses of force. There are going to be times when law enforcement uses an impact weapon or a firearm. And not every time we do it, is it wrong, or should it result in a riot? Well, it should never end in a riot.
Right.
It's not always wrong.
Exactly. Sheriff, I want to switch gears and kind of come a little local here. I have to give props to your department for the quick apprehension of the gentleman that killed the elder couple. I have to give you guys a lot of props for that. I know that we spoke a couple of weeks ago, and you guys had a lot of good leads. And without further, however long it took, you guys got it done very quickly, and the guy was apprehended, and he's admitted to the crimes as well, correct?
He's given us a full confession in detail, yes.
Now, what is the protocol? Let me ask you this for our listeners out there. What is the protocol since he has given a full confession? We don't have to go to trial. There's no court dates or anything like that. He gets sentenced.
Well, in addition to his confession, which in and of itself wouldn't mean there's no trial, but in addition to that confession, he entered into an agreement with the state attorney upon advice of his legal counsel to plead guilty to 2 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count of aggravated burglary, and he's agreed to accept 3 consecutive life sentences. So he will die in prison.
So he will have no possibility of parole at all whatsoever.
Impossible. No, Florida, life in Florida without parole is life without parole. Not other states.
Okay, so that obviously saves the taxpayers money, and it's done. It's over with, and we move on to the next situation. Hopefully, there won't be one. But we just kind of move on, and that's the way the system works very quickly like that.
Yeah, it does. It does in a life sentence. Now, in a death penalty case, our death penalty process in Florida is thoroughly broken. And he never would have gotten, he wouldn't have lived long enough to go to electric chair because of his age, his physical condition. It was a death penalty case because of some of the aggravators, but because of all the circumstances, we never would have gotten there. And this gives the family, they're never going to have closure, but at least it has a finality as far as the police investigation.
Right. And all just because he did this, because I'm assuming from what I read in the stories, they wouldn't give him some extra money or whatever it was. I think that was the case, right?
Based on his confession, and the physical evidence corroborates it, his motive was pure robbery. He wasn't going over there to ask for money. He was going over there to take money. And he knew he would not be able to get away without them knowing who it was. So I would think it's a bridge too far to say anticipated killing them. His statement was, I was going to knock them out. Well, that happens on TV, but in real life, you don't knock 2 people out. So hard to know. I think there's a little blurring there with his exact motive, but nonetheless, it did result in 2 murders.
Good. I'm glad that he's behind bars, and pardon me being so cold, but I hope he rots. I hope the guy rots in jail. I really do. Lastly, business as usual at the sheriff's office. Can we get an update on that for people that need to come by and get stuff done?
It's business as usual, with the exception of fingerprints, where I know we keep saying that we're trying to get back into it, but the problem is that we had that little spike in reported cases of COVID, and I can't risk bringing that easily transmitted virus into the sheriff's office. There's too much at stake. So we're still working through trying to get online with fingerprints. Everything else is available.
Good.
Employment applications, reports, you name it, we're good to go.
Excellent. And I'm noticing the numbers are coming down. I think they showed Florida had an all-time low recently. So that's a good thing for all of us in the state of Florida.
It is. I think we're heading towards getting this whole thing under control. It's been a terrible tragedy for people that were affected by it. But, we're coming through it.
Personal and business as well.
Very much.
Definitely. Sheriff William Snyder, our very special guest, joins us each and every Tuesday in the 8 o'clock hour for an update in Martin County. Sheriff, always our pleasure to have you on. Thank you so much.
24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's our pleasure to serve you all.
Thank you very much, Sheriff. 8:21, it's news time. Let's go to the news desk where Bonnie is standing by. Good morning, Bonnie.
Good morning, Evan. Governor Ron DeSantis has announced a replacement pick to the Florida Supreme Court. DeSantis said Monday he has appointed appellate Judge Jamie Groshans to fill the spot that would have been held by his original appointment, Palm Beach County Judge Renatha Francis. The Republican governor was ordered to appoint another judge Friday after the High Court ruled that Francis was constitutionally ineligible to serve. Francis, who would have been the first Caribbean American justice to serve on the court, was expected to be sworn in later this month, but her appointment was nullified after State Representative Geraldine Thompson filed a lawsuit seeking to invalidate Francis's appointment because she had not been a member of the Florida bar for 10 years, as required by the state constitution. Francis was admitted to the Florida bar September 24, 2010. DeSantis appointed the Palm Beach County judge to the role in May. DeSantis, along with several South Florida black politicians, defended his decision to appoint Francis during a news conference last week in Miramar. However, this may not be the end of the road for Francis. DeSantis said he called President Donald Trump and asked him to consider Francis for the spot on the national federal bench. Authorities are asking for the public's help in locating a missing 11-year-old girl. WPTV's ABC Action News reporter has this.
Breaking news, there is now a statewide missing child alert in place for this 11-year-old girl from Tampa. The Florida Department of Law Enforcement issuing that alert for Darylyn Eichel at 7 o'clock tonight. They say she could be with 28-year-old Martin Eichel, and they have reason to believe she is in danger. Darylyn was last seen in the 2700 block of Chestnut Street in Tampa. We've posted her photo on our ABC Action News social media pages so you can share it and help spread the word.
A water advisory has been issued for Layton Park on the South Fork of the St. Lucie River in Palm City because of an unacceptably high bacteria count. People should avoid contact with the water, which can cause an upset stomach, diarrhea, eye irritation, and skin rashes if touched or ingested, according to the Florida Department of Health office in Martin County. A poor bacteria level ranking is 71. The river at Layton Park had 75 in a water sample taken September 8th. The warning will remain in effect until a series of results are consistently satisfactory. A follow-up water sample was taken Monday, and results should be available by Thursday. Enteric bacteria, a sign of fecal pollution, inhabit the intestinal tract of people and animals. The bacteria's presence in the water typically comes from pets, wildlife, livestock, human sewage, and stormwater runoff, especially after heavy rains. And lastly, Florida is the nation's leading presidential battleground, and there's mounting anxiety among Democrats that Joe Biden's standing among Latinos in the state is slipping. That could give President Donald Trump a crucial opening in Florida, a must-win for Republicans. Biden's campaign and its allies are shoring up its coalition of older voters, suburbanites, and African Americans to make up for potential shortcomings elsewhere. Allies closest to the Latino community said there are reasons to worry. A Democrat running for the state Senate in Miami-Dade County, Javier Fernandez, says the Biden campaign has work to do. Biden is scheduled to make his first visit to Florida as the Democratic nominee on Tuesday. He is set to speak at the roundtable discussion with veterans at 1:30 p.m. in Tampa before heading to Kissimmee for a Hispanic Heritage Month event at 6:30 p.m. Biden's trip comes following Democratic vice presidential nominee Kamala Harris's visit last week to Miami-Dade County. Well, we had 2 games played last night in the NFL action, with the Steelers beating the New York Giants 26-16, and the Tennessee Titans win. They beat the Denver Broncos simply by 16-14. And in Lenny's Pick'em League, we say congratulations to Chief Pick'em Good. Well, Chief Pick'em Good picked him the best. He had 13 correct picks this week. And if you would like to get in and play, friends, send our friend Mr. G an email to themusicalg@yahoo.com. Our news time is 8:26. Weather and traffic together will be next.
8:28 the time on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for traffic and weather together. Brought to you by Code Red Roofers. Bonnie?
Well, we're not finding any traffic accidents on this Tuesday morning. So, picture perfect on the roads with US 1 moving smoothly and our major highways good north and southbound at the moment. There's our latest look at traffic. It's 78 in Palm City, and where it's also 78 degrees this morning in Madrid, Spain. It's 78 right now. Here's our forecast at WPTV.
This morning along the Treasure Coast, temperatures starting off in the mid-70s, partly cloudy skies and some isolated showers for that morning commute. This afternoon, highs in the upper 80s to low 90s, a mix of sun and clouds, and a 40% chance for showers and storms mainly inland, more sunshine towards the coast. For tomorrow, highs in the low 90s, a 30% chance for isolated showers and storms. We'll see drier air through the end of the work week with highs in the low 90s. Rain chances on the increase by the weekend. For the weekend, rain chances around 40%, highs in the low 90s, morning lows in the mid to upper 70s. I'm WPTV First Alert Meteorologist Katya Hall on WSTU AM 1450, Martin County's Heritage Station.
Do you have a suggestion for the show? Send us an email, WSTUmorningshow@gmail.com. And now let's get back to the Get Up and Go show. Here's Evan and Bonnie.
8:32 on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time to take a walk in outer space in another place. Here's Randy Siegel. Good morning, Randy.
Good morning, sir. Do you remember back in 1965 when we all became lost in space? Yep, that was a TV program. Lost in Space followed a family headed for an asteroid that was thrown off course. and spent their time on the planet. It was interesting because the program originally was scheduled to be filmed in black and white. In fact, the first year of the 3-year series was done in black and white, but seasons 2 and 3 were filmed in color. 1968, the Russians launched their Zond 5 spacecraft towards the moon. The Zond 5 carried the first terrestrial organisms to the vicinity of the moon, including 2 tortoises, fruit fly eggs, and plants, and they were recovered back in Russia. What made this flight also interesting was on board was a mannequin that the Russians said were simulated pilots with radiation sensors on them. 1916, China's Tiangong 2 became the first cargo craft to dock with an orbiting space lab for China. And in 2017, the Cassini space probe was deliberately disposed of in a controlled fall to Saturn's atmosphere. The method was chosen to prevent biological contamination of any of the moons of Saturn, now thought to offer potential habitat environments. Well, speaking about habitat environments, NASA scientists, as well as other scientists around the world, think there is a potential for life on Venus. An international team of astronomers has detected a rare molecule in the atmosphere of Venus that could be produced by only. But discovery instantly put the brightest planet in the night sky back into a conversation about where to search for extraterrestrial life. The Astronomical Observatory confirmed that highly integrated presence of a chemical phosphine near the top of the acidic clouds that blanket the planet. Researchers says they know of no non-biological explanation for the relatively high abundance of molecules in the Venusian atmosphere. So is it possible we actually have a neighbor that has habitability on it? We'll follow that story. China, after failing the other day, launched 9 satellites into orbit yesterday. China launched it from a sea location. They have a platform which they brought out, and they launched their Long March 11 carrier vehicle carrying these satellites. Most of them are Earth imaging satellites, allowing the Chinese to look down on Earth and see things in color or black and white. But it allows them to do a lot of science and technology, as well as potential spy research. The astronauts on board the International Space Station continue to do their science on board. Chris Cassidy used an advanced space microscope and swapped components supporting safe combustion and investigation. Cassidy first configured the light microscope module, part of the fluid integration rack, which supports physics and biology research. The veteran astronaut then replaced a burner and igniter tip inside the combustion integrated rack that supports fuel flame research. Russian veteran Anatoly Ivanushin tested battery temperatures and connections that took a 90-minute fitness test on the Zvezda module's treadmill. During the afternoon, Ivanushin changed out dust filters before activating hardware that measures the Earth's nighttime atmosphere in near ultraviolet wavelengths. Cosmonaut Ivan Wagner, 5 weeks away from ending his first trip into space, joined Ivanushin for the monitoring of the battery inspections. Afterwards, the first-time flyer packed Russia's Progress 75 cargo ship that's docked to the rear end of the Zvezda module with old and discarded station items. Well, NASA yesterday announced that astronaut Rex Walheim has retired from the astronaut corps and has departed NASA for future work elsewhere. They also announced a bunch of crew members that will be flying in the not-too-distant future. On October the 14th, or in some area around that, Kate Rubins will join Sergei Rusakov and Sergei Kud-Sevastkov in a Russian Soyuz vehicle for a flight. SpaceX's next Crew Dragon is scheduled for October 23rd at the earliest, with Mike Hopkins, Victor Glover, Shannon Walker, and Soichi Noguchi. An additional individual may join that particular flight. In the spring of 2021, Shane Kimbrough, Thomas Pasqua from the European Space Agency, Megan MacArthur, and Aki Hoshide from the Japanese Space Agency are scheduled to fly on SpaceX-2. No earlier than June of next year, Chris Ferguson, Mike Fink, and Nicole Mann will fly the Boeing orbital test flight. And then in December of next year, Boeing will fly their first Starliner crew flight, scheduled for Suni Williams, Joe Quesada, and Janet Epps. So we can see that NASA has named astronauts for long-term flights that they hope will take us into the future. The crew for the next Soyuz spacecraft has passed all the tests that they are being given in Russia in preparation for that launch. They have just passed a test on manual controlling the descent vehicle should there be a problem with computers. And, as usual, they passed with flying colors. The Michoud facility in NASA's Stennis Space Flight Facility in Mississippi has braced itself for a hurricane. All of the facilities that are there are fairly high. As a result, they do not expect any damage to take place to those facilities. NASA, however, has geared up for Tropical Storm Sally should it create any havoc with that particular location. Belarus has a spacecraft for Earth observation and sensing that is in orbit and continues to work way beyond its warranty period. The Belarus spacecraft was scheduled to have only a 5-year lifetime and currently has been in orbit for over 8 years. The fuel is fine on board to continue an extended operation through 2021. It was launched in January of 2020 in an agreement between the National Academy of Science of Belarus and Rusakosmos to launch additional satellites. The U.S. Congress in the House is slated to pass a space weather bill potentially this week, culminating a 5-year effort to turn a point that space weather is important and that we have to look to the sciences for our weather here on Earth. Lastly, we want to tell you that Europe's next generation Vega C rocket won't be launching in the middle of next year. Tomorrow, we're going to tell you about Japan's new rocket base and Australia re-entering the space race. So until tomorrow, have a great day, everybody.
That's Randy Siegel with our daily dose of space in another place. He's on the program each and every weekday at 8:30 in the morning. Time to head on over to Ellie's Downtown Deli, where Bonnie is standing by with some delectable items to make your palate feel good.
Oh, it feels so good, Evan, and it would be a great time to get some lunch at Ellie's Deli today, where they're serving up fresh jumbo wraps. These are huge. Get your chicken Italiano wrap in your choice of a wrap, so you can get the garlic herb, a spinach one, tomato basil, and it's filled with roasted chicken, sun-dried tomatoes in this one, garlic mayonnaise, fresh basil, oregano, cherry tomatoes, some red onion, fresh mozzarella too, served with a side of your choice. And of course, Ellie's also serving up Mrs. Peter smoked fish dip. That's Always a favorite. Yes, served over a bed of lettuce with chopped onion, tomato, jalapenos, and crackers. Aren't you just hungry right now?
Yes.
Yeah, me too. Ellie's Downtown Deli in Stewart now has their patio back open, plus they're at 50% dining inside with a full menu for pickup or delivery. Ellie's also has full dinners available for takeout, plus their fabulous desserts as well. Call 772-781-6605 to order and pick up today. They're at 18 Southeast 6th Street, just off Colorado in Stewart. Call 772-781-6605. Ellie's Downtown Deli in Stewart.
Time for the Precious Metals Report. It's all brought to you by St. Lucie Jewelry and Coin. Gold is opening up at $1,966.40 an ounce, and silver is opening up at $27.44 an ounce. That's the Precious Metals Report. It's all brought to you by St. Lucie Jewelry and Coin. News time right now is 8:44. Let's go to the news desk where Bonnie's standing by one more time. Bonnie?
Thank you, Evan. A Miami man was shot in the face Sunday afternoon after complaining about slow service at a smoothie shop in Fort Pierce. Police said the 39-year-old victim, who was a customer at the Tropical Smoothie Cafe on Okeechobee Road, was complaining about the length of time it was taken for his order just before 3:30 p.m. when a masked gunman entered the business and confronted the disgruntled customer, shooting him in the face. Fort Pierce police spokesman Mike Jockless said, and after the shooting, the gunman ran off, prompting a large police perimeter in the area and at a nearby apartment complex, but the shooter wasn't found, Jockless said. The victim was taken to an area hospital where he remained Monday morning. Jockless said the victim is listed in serious condition, but is expected to recover. Mark Johnson, age 61, has lived his entire life around alligators. That's why he was so surprised when one tried to grab him and drag him into a canal behind his southeastern Port St. Lucie home. Mark tells us about what happened.
It was about 9 o'clock Sunday morning. I normally walk my Golden Retriever Rex from this direction. We walk all out in here. We were coming back. I did see the gator out here, probably 50 yards away. He was in the middle of the canal. He had probably seen us walking. We were walking along. This water was lower yesterday. I was walking in a little mud bank and some grass right here. Rex was eating the grass along the way. I look up, next thing I know, the gator's beelining. Fastest I've ever seen one move. Come wide open at us. And I holler at Rex until Rex, go home. I look at Rex, he's out. Next thing I back up a second, I don't know why. And that gator's right here. My left foot with my Crocs on, I'm in the mud, which is covered with water now. And the gator, I can see his snout right here. And I'm trying to move in that split second, both feet, and he lunged. And that's my pants. I still have them from yesterday, but I don't have them on. He tore my pants here. He came all the way up to here. My foot was hanging out of one side of the mouth. I remember seeing my foot hanging out, and all I could think of was poke his eyes. Hey, I'm staring right at him. I see those green eyes. I used this finger, which is, I think there's 5 stitches there, which tore around his eye socket because it's pretty sharp around there. And this finger, and I as hard as I could, and he opened up, and that gave me a chance to get my foot, my whole leg out.
Mark went to St. Lucie Medical Center where the wound was disinfected and treated. Lastly, Amazon said on Monday that it's seeking to hire 100,000 full and part-time employees in addition to the 33,000 corporate and technology jobs it announced last week. The company says the opportunities are becoming available in its fulfillment and logistics network as it expands its footprint in the U.S. and Canada. Many of the new jobs are at the company's newest fulfillment, sorting, and delivery buildings. The states with the most roles available include Arizona and California, Colorado, Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, Maryland, Michigan, New Jersey, Ohio, Oregon, Pennsylvania, Utah, Washington, and Wisconsin. Well, on Sunday, several NFL coaches were seen either not wearing masks or wearing them incorrectly. And yesterday, the league said Accountability measures will be imposed against anyone who violates the mask rule. There's no word what those accountability measures will be yet. News time is 8:47. We'll have weather and traffic together next.
$8:49 the time on the Get Show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for traffic and weather together, all brought to you by Code Red Roofers.
Just still a beautiful, quiet morning here on the roadways for Stewart. We're not accidents, and the roads through Port St. Lucie are looking good right now. And there's your latest traffic report. It's 79 in Port St. Lucie, and don't you just feel good to be right here? It's only 19 in Carlini Base, Antarctica. Here's our forecast at WPTV.
This morning along the Treasure Coast, temperatures starting off in the mid-70s, partly cloudy skies and some isolated showers for that morning commute. This afternoon, highs in the upper 80s to low 90s, a mix of sun and clouds, and a 40% chance for showers and storms mainly inland, more sunshine towards the coast. For tomorrow, highs in the low 90s, a 30% chance for isolated showers and storms. We'll see drier air through the end of the work week with highs in the low 90s. Rain chances on the increase by the weekend. For the weekend, rain chances around 40%, highs in the low 90s, morning lows in the mid to upper 70s. I'm WPTV First Alert meteorologist Katya Hall on WSTU AM 1450, Martin County's Heritage Station.
If you have a suggestion for the show, we would love to hear from you. Send us an email to WSTUmorningshow@gmail.com. Now let's get back to the Get Up and Go show. Here's Evan and Bonnie.
I want a new rug, one that's not white, one that hides all the dirt and mud. Don't have to clean it every night. She bought this really bright rug. I want a new rug, one my wife didn't buy, because she thought we could get a dog that liked to stay clean and dry. One that won't make her nervous every time we go through. One that we can walk on without a hazmat suit. Without a hazmat suit.
I want a new rug.
What?
That's a takeoff of Huey Lewis in the News. I want a new drug. Remember that one?
Yeah, I remember the Huey Lewis in the News videos quite well. He always had that mysterious girl that kind of showed up wherever he was playing in concert. The real pretty girl in the videos. And for a little bit of trivia for you, I don't have her name, but she is actually the same girl that played Victor Newman's wife, blind wife at one time on The Young and the Restless.
All right. I have a couple of lists here, Bonnie, I wanted to kind of poke fun at. The top 4 signs that nobody loves you. Top 4 signs nobody loves you.
Uh-oh.
Number 4, you told the waiter it was your birthday and he ate your complimentary brownie.
He ate it.
How about
for
that
you.
one, huh?
Isn't nice.
Coming in at number 3, the only shoulder you can cry on is the one that's beside the road. Okay. Yeah, you're feeling kind of lonely there.
That's a pretty cold shoulder.
Yes, definitely. Coming in at number 2, you need a kidney and your siblings are completely all out. Okay.
Oh, that's just wrong.
And number 1, your mom doesn't return any phone calls at all when you try to leave her messages, whoever that may be. I'm sorry to bring that up. It was there. I know mom is a sensitive subject with you, and I apologize for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Top 5 ways the NFL is going to be different this year. This is a very interesting list, Bonnie.
But we're so glad it got off to a nice start.
Number 5, the cheerleaders are now wearing skimpy PPE outfits.
Oh, yeah.
They're wearing sexy, skimpy PPE outfits.
PPE outfits.
Yep. Coming in at number 4, well, there's that new intentional coughing rule. Instead of intentional grounding, it's intentional coughing. Coming in at number 3, the red zone has been renamed to the Purell place. Okay. Coming in at number 2, playing without protection and never getting sick finally proves that Tom Brady is not human.
Oh,
okay.
I said at work yesterday, I said, I kind of feel sorry for Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Everybody in the break room's like, what? You sorry for Tom Brady? He's Tom Brady.
And coming in at number 1, you know how the center, they usually wear like a towel on their butt, on their backside, so the quarterback can wipe his hands off? Well, instead of a towel in the center's pants now, it's going to be a roll of Clorox wipes.
Oh, good.
How about that one?
That's the more sanitary, the better.
Yeah. And one more list I came across, the top 5 signs that it's time to clean out your garage, Bonnie. Coming in at number 5, the folks at Extreme Home Makeover said it's too extreme, and that was 10 years ago.
Too extreme. They don't even want to touch your garage.
They don't even want to touch your flipping garage.
No.
Coming in at number 4, those 5,000 stacked beer cans are impressive, but they got to go.
Yeah. It can make a nice pyramid for a while, but it gets old and stale after a while.
Yep. Coming in at number 3, police identify the shoe you found on the floor as belonging to Jimmy Hoffa. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Coming in at number 2, Oscar the Grouch tells you it looks messy.
It looks messy, even coming from Oscar, who lives in a garbage can.
Exactly. Coming in at number 1, never mind the car. You don't even have enough room to pull the bike in your garage anymore.
Not even a bicycle, right?
Well, that's your top 5 signs that it's time to clean out your garage.
Oh, thank goodness I cleaned out the garage. I did a okay job.
Did you?
Much better than it was.
Did you find anything in there that you've been looking for that you were like, Oh, I've been looking for that item forever and a day.
No, I wish I did. Kind of like that old flashlight I've been looking for, the
Okay.
flashlight that I love.
Okay.
I didn't find it in all of that, and I didn't find anything that I was missing. And I don't even have a pool right now, but I kept my old pool supplies and, put them
Okay.
all in one corner of the garage.
All right.
And up and sturdy, and just kind of got everything a little bit more neat and a little bit more organized.
All right. So are you going to put a pool in your backyard? Are you guys going to get another one?
Pretty soon, I'm hoping.
Okay.
Maybe I'll do it. Maybe I'll do it that week I'm gone, when I'm gone on vacation. Who knows?
When are you going away, by the way, again? It's November sometime, isn't it?
It is.
Is it November?
Yeah,
Is it?
November 2nd through, and I'll be back here the Monday of, I think it's November 11th.
Okay.
So I'll be gone for one whole week here.
I'm going the week of Christmas.
That's a nice week to go.
Yeah, I'm going the week of Christmas.
That's perfect, Evan.
Yeah.
So it's going to be Christmas Day, and you will be glued into your vacation right
I
there.
will be glued into my vacation.
Oh, perfect timing.
Speaking of glued in, I think it's time to glue out of here.
Yeah.
You like that? Nice transition
Yeah.
there. Thanks so much for listening to the Get Up and Go Show and making us part of your Tuesday morning. The Wednesday edition comes back tomorrow, then Thursday, and then the finals, 5-second rule.
Oh,
Going to be here with Sergeant Brian Bazio going up against Chief Chiminelli.
That's going to be
great.
so good.
Can't wait. It's going to be
I
exciting with a
know.
special guest judge in the house.
Yeah.
We say Chow Mein
Honduras.
and Riva Dirty. Be kind to one another.
And don't be so glued to your job today. Try to get out and have some fun.
Yeah, have a great time. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy life, because life is too short. That's all I got to say. It's too short.
That's right.
So live for tomorrow, because nobody promises tomorrow. Have a great day. God bless. We're WSTU Stewart, Martin County's Heritage Station. The news is coming up next. Bye-bye for now.